Okay, a very good evening, guys. Can you all let me know if you all can hear me and see a screen? Yes. Right. Okay, so perfect. So let me start. Give me a second. We can start. Okay. So today we're gonna start a brand new unit, which is unit number 8. I think one of the most interesting units in the syllabus. So I'll before I start off with the unit itself, I think you all would have heard the news that was out today. So your exams is most likely confirmed to happen in December. I feel that's a okay-ish timeline. It was anyway supposed to happen somewhere around in November, December. Even earlier, I would have liked it if it would have happened, but that's okay. Gives you an extra a couple of months for you all to prepare and get things done. So roughly around how many months do you all have? Let's say we leave February off now since half of February is gone. You have how many months? You have around 10 months to go. Okay, if you leave February out, you have roughly around 9 to 10 months to go. That's what you all have. So with this 9, 10 months, there's a lot of things that you can do. There's a lot of things that we will do as well. So trust me, guys, again, I'm telling you all, I told you all this on the first class of, yes, this is a theory class. I told you all this on the first day of January as well. Remember when we had this whole planning session, just to check up on that. How many of you all uh, are studying according to that plan? Yes, now this is mid of Feb. By now, you should be somewhere around in unit 5, unit 6. Yes, 1 unit a week, somewhere around in unit 5, unit 6. At least if you've not caught up much, try to, catch a little and get things done. Uh, unit 8. I'll come to unit 8. Okay, nice. Okay, so I want all of you all, I'll let you all know this again, guys. On your end, if you want to stand out from the rest, if you want to stand out from the rest, I will encourage you try to finish studying the syllabus at least once, the econ syllabus, at least once by somewhere around end of March. Okay. So I will be finishing my theory and revision class syllabus also by the end of March. So along with the live class as well, you will be finishing it. And also on your end, also try and finish. And then after that, right, I've told you all, from April onwards, I will be starting a fast track program. The fast track program that's a very intense program. There's a lot of work that we need to do. Yes, there are total 12 units. There's a lot of work that we will be doing in the fast track program. There is 3 classes a week, right? We do papers every week. There is a big mock exam at the end of each month, right? And then at the end of let's say 4 months, every week you all will be doing a paper. So there's a lot of work that we will do, but you can't do all of that if you don't know your basics. So without knowing now, because in the fast track class, guys, I'm not going to teach you what is microeconomics, what is macroeconomics, what are needs, wants, what is scarcity. No. What I will main doing is I'll quickly wrap up the theory and we'll mainly focus on getting the paper done, right? Clarifying our doubts, right? We can have one-on-one doubt discussions. We can do all of that, but you need to come to a certain level. If you're completely blank, you can't get there. So try your level best. Start from unit number 1. Try your level best by somewhere around in March. Even if you can't, try your level best to finish all 12. But even if you can't finish all 12 units, at least let's say 6 to 7 units minimum. Okay. If you can be at a level of, let's say, around 50 marks by the end of March. Yes, I'm guessing you all had your term exams as well. How did it go? How are your marks? Recently, people had term exams. No, how did your marks, latest marks? Not got the mark yet, right? Just check. So at least if you are at least at the level of, let's say, around a 50, that's your target. Okay. Your target is by the end of March, minimum you need to be at the level of a 50. And then from April onwards, when we start the fast track program, when we do our mock exams, when we do the past papers, when we get all of that, you will most likely be able to get to a 80, 90 level. Those who are at around 70 by end of March, we will push to a island rank. right? We will push to the 95s, 98s, that kind of targets, we'll get that done. All of that is possible. It's all in your hand. We have time, given that exams are now in December. There is a little bit of additional time for us also to play around with. So don't take that for granted. And I'm telling you all, for those who are planning to get into local universities, the more the exam gets postponed, your Z scores go down and down. The reason is because the more the exam gets postponed, even the weakest of students can study more and come up, right? So meaning the average mark for the subject goes up. The more and more the exam gets postponed, the average mark. So there are around 100,000 students writing econ. So the average mark, let's say everyone you take and divide. So let's say it's 50. The more and more the exam gets postponed, that average mark goes up. So your Z score is based on how well you do compared to the average student. So if the average mark is 70 and let's say you got 75, your Z score will be very low. Even though you got an A, still the average student also has got 70. So your Z score is not going to be that high. So that's the risk of the exam getting postponed for the smarter people. But we can't help. That's not under our control. What's under our control is we will push. We will push to 90, 95. We'll even get close to around 100. So the current A-level batch, I think they did really, really well. We'll see how it goes when their results come as well. So it's in your hand. Make sure that you work hard and get things done. Okay, so then before we get into things, yes, about the physical class, right? So since there was a request from a few students trying to experiment this a little, I will be starting a physical class for the 2024 batch. It's not a normal theory or a revision class. It's a more exclusive kind of a class where we will have only, I'm targeting, let's say around 10 to 20 students only. So it's a small classroom, a more posher environment, I would say, not like a typical classroom that you would have at an institute, right? So it's a more posher, very student-friendly kind of an environment. We will look at I will only be taking around 20 students. That's the plan for now. The plan is to start from March onwards. And what I will be doing is we will go until around November, since your exam is in December. There, what we will be doing is that's around 7-8 months. No? So what we will do is we will cover the entire syllabus again, mainly in the form of theory recapping. We will do papers, right? We'll do all of that, and that's how that will go. It will most likely be around a 3 to 3.5 hour class every week, a physical one in Colombo. And that's something different, guys. That is not connected to our theory class or anything that we are doing online. That's completely different. So that class is specifically for anyone who really wants to get this exam done, but you have fallen down a little. Maybe you got busy with sports, maybe you got busy with any club societies work, maybe prefectship work, you got a little busy, right? You really want to get it done. If so, that class is something like you. I will be starting that in March. Most likely, I'm not finalized the time yet. Since it's a very exclusive class, since it's a theory, revision, paper, all of it combined, the fee will be a little higher. We're thinking of a fee of around 6,000 a month. If any of you all are interested, you can just let me know beforehand, maybe even after the class, or even now, just drop me a text and keep. You don't have to confirm, but just say that you're interested, because there's only 20 slots that I will be looking at. Because once the slots are complete, it's not a class that you can join anytime. It's a proper 8-month program where you will be working and get things done. Thank you. Any other questions? And also, guys, one more thing, since a lot of have been asking, we're starting unit number 8 today. Unit number 8 is not connected to any of the previous units. Okay, it's not connected at all. So it's not connected to unit 1, 2, 3, 4, not connected at all. So you can start with unit number 8 today, even if you don't know the other units, that's perfectly fine. And then if you really want to catch up on the previous units, that is unit 1 to 7, we have done, you can purchase the recording and the tute and catch that up. That is also an option. So that way you can cover up the entire syllabus and you can get things done. Right now, all my tutes that I printed also are over. Usually I print around 100 odd tutes every 2 weeks. It goes very fast. That's a lot of students are buying and covering up the syllabus. So that's something that you all can also use to cover up. What? Right. Okay. For 25 batch, we're doing unit number 1 and 2 together. Parallelly, no, I'm only doing this class physically. If you're an online student, just continue online, no problem at all. Will the class be on weekends? I'm not sure. I'm not. It's either going to be on a Friday, Saturday, or a Sunday because Monday to Thursday I already have classes ongoing. Okay. Now, so shall we start? Any other questions? Fine. Let me share my screen. So unit number 8, what do we have over here and what is this unit about? So this unit is, I would say 90% theory. There's a little bit of calculations as well, but mostly a 90% theory kind of a unit, but not a unit that you can memorize and write actually. I feel it's the most interesting unit in the syllabus, the second half of this unit. Okay. So if I'm to tell you what this unit has, this unit about public economy. Public economy is a lot connected to the government, right? That's the public sector, the government. It's about that. So mainly what we will be talking about is the very first part of this unit is on something called market failure. Remember guys, in unit number 1, I'm hoping all of you all know this. Remember we study market economy. Do you all remember market economy in unit number 1? I'm hoping that basic is there in your head. Unit number 1, market economy. So what are we going to talk very first? The very first session is the very first thing. That is what we will start today. Where this market economy is failing, right? They're not giving the desired results. There is a lot of inefficiency. There's so many different issues we'll discuss. The market economy fails. Okay, that's the first part of the unit. So we'll talk about the reasons for market failure. There are certain diagrams and graphs relating to this. We will go through that. That's the first part of the unit. And then after we study market failure, it goes like a story, guys. After that, we will then discuss how the government intervenes. Now, market economy has failed. No? So then we will study number 2, how the government intervenes to do what? How the government intervenes to correct market failure. Now, to correct these issues, I'll just say MF, market failure, how the government intervenes to correct market failure. So government comes like Superman and now he does different things. That's the second part of this unit. And after that, guys, any guesses as to what comes next? There is market failure. There is government coming to correct the market failure. What do you think happens to the government? The government who comes to correct the market failure, they also fail. Government also. Then we study, it's connected with the second part itself. We study government failure, right? So this is where we say how Gota failed. We'll talk about that. Okay. Then after that, we go into the third main section, that is the government's fiscal policy. Remember, we studied something called monetary policy in unit number 7. That is completely different. Here we will study another policy called the fiscal policy. So in the fiscal policy, we will talk about things like what? We will talk about things like government revenue. So government revenue is mainly tax. We'll talk about how the government is taxing. We'll talk about the current tax trends also, how this VAT and everything is happening, how much is the government planning to collect, what happened, right? I'll talk about the economic crisis that happened, how even Gota won the election. How do you think Gota won the election, guys, in 2020? What was one of his main points that he used to win the election in 2020? That was one of his main things. Okay, forget about the Rata Beeraganna, that story, but in terms of economic policies, what was one of the main things? One of his main things, guys, he said that he will reduce taxes. That's one thing, right? So what he did is he reduced VAT. He gave a lot of tax exemptions, right? Income tax exemptions. So much of tax reductions happen, right? We'll talk about all of that, how government revenue fell bad, and then how that was one reason why we went into economic crisis. That's something that we will talk about. Then we will talk about the government expenditure. So how our Sri Lankan government, how much they spend. So if you analyze in the since independence, every single year, our government is spending more than what they are earning. Let's say government revenue is only 100 million. They are spending 200 million. Every year it's like that. So we'll talk about why expenditure is high, the government sector, right? Public sector salaries, and one of the biggest expenditure components is interest. We have taken so much of loans, right? Sri Lanka has taken so much of loans. So there is so much of interest that we need to pay. That's one of the biggest expenditure components of our government. We'll talk about those. And then I told you all, expenditure is always higher than the revenue. So can you all tell me, how can I earn only 100,000 and how can I spend 150,000? What should I be doing? What is the government doing then every year? Their revenue is only 100,000. Assume not 100, right? But they are spending 150,000. How? Every year they are doing, what are they doing? They are getting loans. Government is taking loans from the central bank. They're taking loans from foreign IMF, this one, that one. They're getting loans from everywhere. Okay. So that part we will talk about. We'll talk about public debt. And that is the other side of this unit. So this is what mainly the unit is about. So this unit to overall see, remember the story here, then it's very easy to understand and it's very easy to study. So if I'm to quickly summarize what this unit is about, we start off this unit talking about the market economy failing. In unit number 1, we studied market economy. Now we're going to talk about how this market economy fails. Different issues in this market economy, what those are, we will learn today. And after that, now under market failure also, we will mainly go through the reasons. Okay. One of the main reasons are externalities. So that part we will learn probably in our next class, externalities. We will learn that as well. That's also interesting. And then we'll get into the government intervening to correct the market failure and how the government also will. That's the second part. That's a very small part. And then I would say around 60% of your unit is the fiscal policy. There's a lot of current context, Lama. If you all know what is currently happening in Sri Lanka, it's very interesting. So you can see how how the government has now, even if you realize, guys, you all realize that they increase government sector salaries? Yes. That's government expenditure. From this year onwards, they increase salaries. Yes, no. You all know that they increase salaries. They charged VAT on one end and they covered it up with salaries. So that is what is there in your tooth cover. Ever thought what is there in your tooth cover? Yeah. So what happens? On one end, right? If you look at your tooth cover, on one end, they increased VAT like nothing, no? They removed VAT exemptions, they reduced the VAT threshold, and they increased the VAT rate. They did so much of things. And some of that money, they're again giving it back to the public as in terms of salary increments to the government sector workers. That's your tooth cover that is there. Okay, we'll talk about all of those very interesting stories. I'll send you all the news articles as well. And given that I work also for this econ firm, all what I know in terms of what's happening around, I will let you all know. Okay, that's about the unit. Any questions? Fine. Overall thing. Now, in terms of the amount of questions that you get, so from unit number 8, you get question number 7 in paper 2. In your paper 2 of your A-level paper, question number 7. So if you go through papers from, let's say, 2011, all the way until, let's say, the latest paper, 2023. Every year, this hasn't changed. Question number 7. So question number 7 in your exam paper. So question number 7, you all know each sub question gives you all 20 marks. I think that's the easiest. And if I am to, I don't want to spoil this for you all, but I'll say unit number 8 is the easiest unit in the grade 13 syllabus, if that makes you feel better. Okay. Now, we did unit number 7 earlier. You all saw it was a little hard. In unit number 7, especially monetary policy was a little hard. There was a lot of small things, but I don't think you all are lost in it. And then credit creation is a little hard. It's a little tricky. Unit number 8 is not that hard. Unit number 8, you can remember it as a story. It's very interesting. We'll learn. So in terms of marks, once again, unit for paper 2, you get question number 7, that is 20 marks that we are looking at. And then in paper 1, you get roughly around 4 to 5 MCQs, roughly around 4 to 5 MCQs. So 4 to 5 MCQs there is how many marks? That's again around 8 to 10 marks. So we are overall looking at 8 to 10, that's 28 to 30 marks from unit number 8. And I'm repeating again, this unit is not connected to any of the previous units. When I say not connected, for example, you need to know what is a market economy. It's that basic connect. Now, for example, unit number 2 and 3 are highly connected. No? Without knowing unit number 2, you can't do unit number 3 taxes. So there is no connection like that. For example, you need to know what is demand, what is supply. You need to know what is a market economy. So if you know what those mean, you don't have to know those in detail. In unit number 8 will make perfect sense. So we're targeting 28 to 30 marks. Easy. We can get all of this. And then in terms of the time that I will take to finish, my plan is to finish this by the end of this month. I need around 15 hours of teaching to finish this. So I think in 3 weeks, I can finish. Okay. I need around 15 hours. I might take a few extra classes. So you all know, guys, for those who are unaware, I see some of you all on Wednesday, but I don't see you all on Thursday. So we have 2 classes a week every week, unless I cancel or do something. So classes are on today, Wednesday, 7 to 10 p.m. I have 3 hours there. And then on Thursday, we have 8 to 10 p.m. We have 2 hours there. So we have a class today. We have a second class tomorrow. All the classes are recorded and given on the website as well. You all know this. So you can watch the recording unlimited times until A levels. So if you miss the class, I will upload the recording by tonight itself. Watch and catch up. Okay. That's your duty to get things done. So 2 classes a week, that means 5 hours a week. I need around 15 hours, I feel I can finish this unit. So meaning around 3 weeks, I will finish this unit off. 9 and 10, we will learn parallelly. Okay, so that my plan is to finish all the theory units by March. That will give you all a big advantage. Just to summarize what I have in mind for you all. Okay. So we will do, you need to fill the registration form after paying the fee. Then you'll get access to the recordings. By end of this month, I will finish unit number 8. Unit number 9, I will most likely, right? I will most likely take, if you don't have access to any recording, you can text the admin and get it sorted. Unit number 9, I'll most likely take 2 weekends around 6-hour classes. I need around 12 hours to finish unit number 9. So I'll take around 2 weekends, right? Maybe Sundays from morning to around afternoon, 2 weeks, and I will finish it off. That's for unit number 9. Unit number 10, we will do it on our normal class time. That is Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. Around 3 weeks would go there. And after that, unit 11 and 12, unit 11 and 12. This is, I will be summarizing this and teaching to you. So for this, I need around 6 to 8 hours. This also, I'm going to do it in one long class. One long class. So it will be a bit of a hectic month. March is going to be a little hectic. But that I'll guarantee you this, guys. By the end of March, if you can finish studying the syllabus, it's going to give you a big advantage compared to everyone out there for your term exams. When you start practicing past papers, when you start doing other papers, it becomes very easy because you have finished the syllabus. So stay with me. It's going to be hard. There are going to be a lot of classes. There's going to be a lot of work that we are going to do. We will get it done. Okay, right. What are the qualifications? You need to be a private candidate. I don't think you need a qualification as long as you passed O levels. I think it's okay. Okay. Now, right. We will start. Dun, 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 dun. So listen carefully. We will do a certain section today. The plan for today is I'm planning to finish until page number 5 in your tute. We'll see. Not sure if I can finish all of it, but my plan is to finish page until page number 5 today. Tomorrow I will finish externalities. Then section 1. Remember section 1 of the unit. What is section 1 of the unit? Section 1 of the unit is market failure. Then market failure will be over. Today I will do part of it until page 5. Tomorrow I will go through this externalities part in detail. And then with that, section 1 of the unit will be done. So stay focused. We'll get it done. Okay? Right. We will start. Enough nonsense. Starting with question unit 8, the public economy. Interesting unit. One of the easiest units in the syllabus. So listen, understand, we'll get it done. Okay. Starting off with what is market failure? So I have given a small topic called market failure. What is market failure? Now you all know the broader story. The market failure refers to what? Market failure refers to a situation where the market economy. Now, when I say market economy, you should know unit number 1, that one, right? What is market economy? An economic system that used price mechanism, private sector ownership, there was self-interest, right? Limited role of the government, that one. So this market economy is failing. It's not allocating resources properly. Remember, one of the main things of an economy is to answer the what to produce, how to produce, whom to produce questions, right? So they're not allocating resources properly. They're sometimes overproducing some goods. Certain goods they are not producing at all because they are not profitable. Certain goods they are underproducing. There are so many issues. There are people in poverty. There are, let's say, macroeconomic instability. Let's say inflation rates are going up, so much of unemployment in the economy, so many different issues. The economy is failing. That's what you call market failure. So if I am to go through the definition, I say inability of the market mechanism to distribute scarce resources towards the society's well-being is called market failure. So you're not allocating your resources properly. You're not allocating it to what the society wants. Okay. And here also we say it is a situation in which the allocation of goods and services by a market is not Pareto efficient. What is Pareto efficiency? Anna, I have given a small note on the side. Yes, you all know what is Pareto efficiency. You know what is that? Okay. Pareto efficiency is like a perfect economy. What is Pareto efficiency? A perfect economy. So this is purely theoretical level. So this is like a very perfect situation. For example, the economy has achieved productive efficiency. It has achieved allocative efficiency. There is no unemployment, right? Equal income distribution. Everything is properly happening. That is what you call Pareto efficiency. So it is not something that is practical. Any economy in the world, they're not 100% Pareto efficient, but it's a goal that you can try to reach. Now, for example, if you take your A-level paper, Pareto efficiency is like scoring 100 out of 100. Almost anyone won't score 100 out of 100 in the A-level paper. So far in the history, no one has. Right? No one so far in the A-level history has scored 100 out of 100. At least even the MCQs, if you get all 50 correct in paper 2, at least even if you get 100, they will cut a mark only and give you 99. They somehow cut a mark. So it's something. Now 100 out of 100, or let's say 200 out of 200 in the A-level paper, that's the perfect situation. That's where everything is perfect. Practically, no one is there. But that is something that we would like to go towards, no? So that's like a goal. Yes, we will read Pareto efficiency. Pareto efficiency is where an economy has its resources and goods allocated to the maximum level of efficiency. And so maximum level of efficiency means now economic efficiency. Yeah. So there is productive efficiency allocated. So it's perfect. That's what you call Pareto efficiency. And then, yeah, and no change can be made without making someone worse off. Remember, when you're in economic efficiency, if you want to increase the production of one good, you have to sacrifice something else, no? Someone else is going to suffer. If you are going to give something to someone, you have to take it from someone because everything is perfectly distributed. Pure Pareto efficiency exists only in theory. What is Pareto efficiency? What did I say? I said that's like the perfect economy. That's like you getting 200 out of 200 in your A-level paper. We will target for that, but practically no one will. Even I didn't get it. I also, even though you think that I know all the econ, even if I write your A-level paper, I also might make a careless mistake. I'm also human. I also, when writing a essay question, sometimes I might, write something else. Happens. Even if I write your paper, I might not get 200 out of 200. I might come close to. See, that's why you say Pareto efficiency exists only in theory. Though the economy can move towards Pareto, you can move towards it. See, you can move towards getting 200 or 200. But achieving that is almost impossible. Okay, that's what you call Pareto efficiency. So we'll come back to this now. What did I say? I said it is a situation in which the allocation of goods and services by a free market is not Pareto efficient. That means it is not perfect, often leading to a net loss of economic value. We are defining market failure. What did I say market failure is? I said market failure is where this market mechanism, remember price mechanism and all, it's not allocating resources properly. It's not allocating resources to what the society wants. In other words, it's not Pareto efficient. Leads to a lot of social welfare losses. If market failures can be viewed as scenarios where individuals' pursuit of pure self-interest leads to results that are not efficient. Because remember, in a market economy, everyone's self-interest, no? You do something as a producer, I will do something only if I can earn a profit. You will do something only if you can, let's say, get a benefit out of it. Everyone is self-interest. That's what they want. So when everyone is working like that for their own self-interest, it doesn't give desired results. And that is what you call market failure. So broader picture once again. What is market failure? Market failure is the market economy. Market economy, unit number 1. The market economy that we studied is now failing. Failing how? They are not allocating resources properly, right? There can be macroeconomic instabilities. There can be poverty issues. There can be, so many different issues. This economy is failing. That is market failure. What is Pareto efficiency once again? Pareto efficiency is what we call a perfect economy. Everything is perfect, right? They have allocated resources to the fullest, right? They have allocative efficiency, productive efficiency, economic efficiency, everything is there. That is Pareto efficiency. That's only there in theory. So market failure situation where there is not Pareto efficient, leading to social welfare losses. Is that part okay? Fine. Yes, can you quickly give me a yes if you're not fallen asleep? If not, ask questions. Don't just look at the screen and press your phone and wait. It is get the unit from the start itself. It's an interesting unit. You daydream, and I know the recording will be available, But if you're in class, make sure you listen and get it done. Don't wait until the recording is there. Others, fine. I have around, yeah, in theory means it will not happen in real life. It's fine. Okay, I have around 60, 70 answers. I'm guessing the others also are fine. Okay, good. Now we'll go to the reasons. Sorry, that was a question. Yes, I made a quiz today. We'll see. Right. The last point is saying, we come to the last point. Last point, remember self-interest. Self-interest is where, remember, in a market technology, we say everyone is focused on their self-interest, focused on fulfilling their own thing. So because of that, what happens? The result of that, it's not very efficient. In terms of society's point of view, it's not very efficient. That's what we say. Okay. Now, Lamai, we'll come into the reasons for market failure. What are the reasons behind this? Why does the market economy fail? So the rest of this part is focused on these reasons. There are 3 reasons. The first reason for market failure is inefficiency in resource allocation. If I am to simply tell you what that is, or the credit card part, no, right, I'll cover that, no problem. Okay. The first very part is inefficiency in resource allocation. You're not allocating your resources properly. Meaning, what are the resources? Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. So some goods you're not producing at all. Some goods you're overproducing. Sometimes you're wasting resources. Some goods you're underproducing. That means you're not allocating it properly. Now, for example, if you take a country, okay, you have to allocate certain amount of resources, let's say for education. Maybe they are not allocating enough. Inefficiency. Those kind of things we will talk about this in detail. Don't worry. So I'm not going into detail now. We will talk about it in detail on, right? So there is that. That's one reason. The second reason is macroeconomic instability. That's the second reason. That is where there is high levels of inflation, unemployment, poverty, right? Exchange rate is crashing, macroeconomic instability. That's another reason. Another reason is unequal distribution of income. So where there are income disparities, remember, there are some people really poor, some people really rich. So all 3 of this are reasons for market failure. The last 2 reasons, right? We don't go very much in detail. If you go to page number 5, you will see like 2 paragraphs. So this is a very, you need to know the basics only in this. But in the first reason, right, the first reason, inefficiency in resource allocation, this one you need to know in detail. This one we will go in detail. Under this also there are sub-reasons. Now, the main reason, remember, reasons for market failure. Why is the market economy failing? One reason, inefficiency in resource allocation. They're not allocating their resources properly. We will learn that in detail. See the rest of the unit, right? Page number 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, until here, it is that. Until here, it is reason number 1. And then here, reason number 2 and reason number 3 are very small parts. That is page number 5. No? Yeah, reason number 2 and 3 are small. So until the next half of page number 4, we will learn the first reason in detail. So there is a lot. Okay, so I'll just put it over here. That is page number 1 to page number, let's say, 4.5. Okay, we will go through. Right, let's start. We're going to go through what? We're going to go through the first reason under market failure. So the first reason under market failure is what we call inefficiency in resource allocation. Let's read. They say inefficiency of resource allocation occurs due to non-distribution of scarce resources of a society in a favorable manner towards the society, right? Meaning you're not distributing the resources in a favorable manner, meaning you're either overproducing the good, you're either underproducing the good, or you're, let's say, not producing at all. So there are so many different reasons. So these are what we call the sub reasons. Under inefficiency in resource allocation also, there are sub reasons, Lavan. Reasons like what? Reasons like number one, non-provision of public goods. Market economy doesn't provide public goods. We will learn. All of this is there here in detail. We will learn. Don't worry. Right now, you will not understand. I will go through. Okay. Then non-optimal consumption of quasi-public goods. What is it? We will learn. Non-provision of merit goods. Over-provision of demerit goods. Now, demerit goods, remember things like cigarettes and all. Market economy produces more of that. Okay, that's what we say, over-provision. Underutilization of overutilization of common resources. Negligence of externalities. This is another thing that we will learn in detail. Okay. Imperfect competition. Imperfect information. So these are all different sub-reasons under the main reason inefficiency in resource allocation. So right now you wouldn't have not understood. You don't know what these are, don't worry. You just need to know the overall picture. What is the overall picture? There is something called market failure. Okay, there is something called market failure. There are three reasons for market failure. Reason number one, inefficiency in resource allocation. Under this, there are sub-reasons. That is what is there in the tube right now on the screen. Reason number two, there is macroeconomic instability. Reason number three, unequal income distribution. So there are three reasons. What are we going to learn now? We're going to learn these sub-reasons in detail. We'll learn the sub-reasons in detail. Okay? Now, let's go. One by one. Right. Public goods. Okay, one more thing. Today is Valentine's Day. Anyone celebrating? No? No one celebrating Valentine's Day? No? Never? Sad, no? What to do? I also had a lot of work, so I couldn't also go out much. Yeah, fine. Yes, good. Now, you can celebrate with your parents also. No problem. No problem. Not an issue. Okay. So, what is a public good? A public good is a good, we say, that is non-rival and non-excludable. What is a public good? How do we define? We say a public good is a good that is non-excludable and non-rival. What is this non-excludable, non-rival? Let me teach. We'll start with non-excludable. Okay. Listen carefully and get it into your head. Yes. You know what is non-excludable? Non-excludable is even if someone doesn't pay for the good, you can't exclude him from consumption. Meaning, even if someone doesn't pay, you can't stop him from coming and getting that good. That's what we call non-excludable. I'll give you an example for a public good, then you all will understand. Okay. Let's say, Ramai, we'll take street light. Now, outside your house, you all know in your road, there is a light. No, there is a light post and there is a light. Sometimes it gets on, sometimes it's not on. And there is street light. Now think, okay. We'll take this example of street light. Now, let's say this is your house. This is your road. Yeah? This is your house road. Okay, this is your road. And then this is your house. So likewise, there is your house, your neighbor's house. There is another person, right? Likewise, there are people. Okay. Now, let's say now there is a light post over here. This is your street light. Okay. Now, let's say government comes and tells, we'll assume government comes and tells people, every house, if you all need street light, you all should pay. I'm just giving a story. Yeah. Government is coming and saying, if you all need street light, you all have to pay 500 rupees every month. The government saying every house, if you want light for your house, not electricity, a street light. Okay. You have to pay 500 rupees every month. Now let's say all your neighbors paid. Your neighbors paid. You didn't pay. Your neighbors paid, you didn't pay. Can they stop you from consuming the street light? Just because you didn't pay, does that mean that your house is not going to get covered from that? No, right? You're still going to get it, no? Even if you don't pay, you're still going to get the street light. Or let's say your uncle who is living in the next lane, he has paid. So then when he is also going in your lane, he has to get street light. So see, something like street light, non-excludable, no? Even if you don't pay, they can't stop you from consuming. No? Even if you don't pay, you still can consume that good. You will still get the street light. I'll give you another example here. For example, national defense. Now, what is national defense? The police, army, and everything. Okay. Now, for let's say for the police and army and all, now see, y'all are not paying anything, right? You're not paying any money for them, no? But still, aren't you getting protected? You are, no? Right? When you're traveling in the road, you have some sort of protection. Then even the fact that these people are the people who are, yeah, taxes are there, but you're not directly paying them, right? When you're, let's say, even your house, right? You cannot just think there is no police or army in this country. Right? There may be how many robbers and how much of things. You're still getting protected, even without paying. So that's what you say, non-excludable. What is non-excludable here? How do we define? Inability to prevent consumption from people who do not pay for the good. So even if you don't pay, you can still consume. There is no way that they can avoid you from consuming. Now, I'll give you another example of, let's say, okay, let's say I am doing a class, right? Let's say I'm doing a class, okay? Let's say now I am sending the link for this class. Let's say I send, now let's say there is a WhatsApp group. Let's say there are 1,000 students in the WhatsApp group. I just send the link every day. I send the link on the group. Okay? And then I tell y'all, okay, now, okay, I want y'all to now, the most interesting part comes here. Okay, how does this lead to market fail? Let's say there are 1,000 students in a WhatsApp group. Okay, I tell y'all, I send the class link and I tell y'all, look here, every month class fees is 2,000 rupees. You all can pay and you can join. So some of y'all are paying and join. Y'all are paying 2,000 to me and y'all are clicking on the link and join. Then there are some people, right? You realize, even though you didn't pay, still the link is coming in the group. You're in the group, right? You can still click the link and come. Even if you didn't pay, you can still click the link and come. So my question now is, if you can consume the good, think up. If you can consume a good, even without paying for the good. Now that is what non-excludable means. Now, street light, you can get street light even without paying for street light. Let's say you can come for this Zoom class even without paying for the class. If so, will you ever pay for it? Will anyone ever pay for a public good? If you can consume the good even without paying, think, practically think. If you're going to get, now let's say government comes and says, every month give 500. Even if you don't pay the 500, you're still getting the light. So will you ever pay? No. Why will you pay? Without paying itself, if you can get, are you mad to pay? Without paying the class fees, if you're getting the Zoom link, why should you pay? Simple. See guys, when supplying a public good, since everyone can consume the good, whether they pay for it or not, and as consumers behave according to their self-interest, they would not be willing to pay for a public. So a public good is a good that is non-excludable. What does non-excludable mean? There is no way of preventing someone from consuming, even if they haven't paid for it. Even if they haven't paid for it, no way of not giving it to you. So even if I have not paid for street light, there is no way of stopping me getting street light. If I go out for the road, I can see the light. Light is there, my road is lighted, sorted. Even if I don't pay, let's say something for the police or army, I'm still getting protected. So that is what you call non-excludable. So then people realize, what do people realize? Even if I don't pay, I am still getting this. Even if I don't pay, I am still getting this. Then people have what? Self-interest. No? You are trying to do what is good for you, right? Even without paying, if I am getting street light, why will I pay for street light? So at the end, what happens? No one is willing to pay. Okay. So for these public goods like what here, for example, clock towers. Have you ever seen clock towers, guys? Not a very common thing now, but in certain places there are these huge towers with clocks. I'm hoping you all know what a clock tower is. Not now, it's not. You don't need a clock tower because everyone has a phone and a watch. But back in the day when no one had phones and watches, that's where you saw the time, So now there are computers and everything that is there, which the time is already there. Time is in your hand. But think around 50 years ago, no mobile phones, nothing. Not everyone would have had a watch. So people would have actually used a clock tower. So clock towers, national defense, street light, even a lighthouse, right? So all of those are public goods. Even if you don't pay for it, you can consume it. There is no way of them putting you out. So if that is the case, no one will pay. Now I'll come to market failure. If no one is willing to pay for that good, okay, will a supplier ever supply? Supplier's motive is profit. A market economy, supplier wants profit. Will I start a business that is supplying street lights? Or will I start a business of building clock towers? Will I ever do something? No, right? Since it is non-excludable, no one is paying. No one is paying means you can't charge a price. No, even if you charge a price, they are like, okay, but no one's paying. You can't charge a price then. If you can't charge a price, can you make a profit? No. So if I'm to summarize the story, these goods are non-excludable. Non-excludable means no one is willing to pay. No one is willing to pay because it is non-excludable. No one is willing to pay. If no one is willing to pay, can you charge a price? No one will pay, right? So therefore, you cannot charge a price. If government comes and says, okay, the price is 500 for street light, you will be like, oh, fine, okay. No one will pay though. So you can't charge a price. So if you can't charge a price, can you earn a profit? No. Can't make a profit, right? If you can't charge a price, how to make a profit? So therefore, no profit. If there is no profit, tell me, Lavai, will the market economy ever allocate resources to produce such goods? Will a market economy, will they allocate their land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship to provide, let's say, services like national defense, army, navy, police, all of them? Will they have street lights? Who will do? No one will do. So then what happens? No profit means these public goods will not be provided by the market economy. See, now that's a problem, right? Can you have a country without street light? Can you have a country without a national defense? Okay, clock towers and all, maybe no, but can you have a country without street light? No. Can you have a country without a police army navy? No. So see, what is happening here? The market economy. Remember, when I say market economy, what should you think? Price mechanism, self-interest. Producers want profit. No one is doing so. Self-help in a market economy. Okay. No, non-extrudability is not the same as economic overhead capital. Don't come up with complete new stuff. Economic overhead capital is different, right? So what is non-extrudability? Non-extrudability is even if you don't pay, there is no way that they can exclude you. There is no way that they can stop you from consuming the good. So if that is the case, what did I say? If there is no way that they can stop you from consuming the good, no one will pay. No. Even if you don't pay, you are still getting the good. So no one will pay. Okay. If no one will pay, then you can't charge a price. You can't earn a profit. So the market economy will never produce what? They will never produce public. Okay. So then, even think in Sri Lanka, who is providing street lights? Is it a private firm? Is a private firm coming and putting lights to your this thing? No, right? So this is where the market is failing. How the government intervenes, we'll study later, right? Just think of a market economy that is purely private sector, price mechanism, self-interest. Fails, right? Go on. Isn't one reason under inefficiency in resource allocation. Look at what did we go through now? We're going through the first reason here. Non-provision of public goods. A market economy will not allocate their scarce resources. Scarce, I mean land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. They are not allocating their scarce resources to produce these. Non-provision of public goods. That now some of those they have to know. I mean, you have to have street light in a country. You need to have a national defense in a country. So they are not allocating means under inefficiency in resource allocation. You have to allocate some of your resources for this, but they are not. Why are they not allocating? Because these goods are non-excludable. Non-excludable means you can't charge a price. Can't charge a price means can't make a profit. So if you can't make a profit, why will a producer in a market economy, is he mad to go and supply that? He won't. So that's one reason why the market. So under inefficiency in resource, and the first reason is the market economy does not provide public goods. One reason for failure, non-provision of public goods. That's the non-excludability part. Please see, also in a market economy which targets profits, no one allocates resources to produce such a public good. Thus, public goods will not be produced by the private sector due to the inability to charge a price. That's the case. There is also one more characteristic of a public good, guys. I told you all, a public good is a good that is non-excludable, non-rival. This non-rival part, it doesn't lead to market failure, but we need to know what non-rival is. What is non-rival? Think about it. Think. Just because your house is getting street light, does that mean someone else is not getting? Does that mean your neighbor is getting less street light? Just because there is a tower and your house is getting, does that mean your neighbor is getting less? Is it rival? Does that mean your neighbor is getting less? No, right? Your neighbor is also getting the same amount of street light. Now, even think of this class. What do you think? This class is not a public good. Do you think this class is non-rival? Just because you're coming and listening and waiting, does that mean someone else can't listen? Now, if it was my 100 account Zoom, then it would have been a problem. Then it would have been rival. No, remember sometimes when I have my 100 participant Zoom account, then it reaches 100, and then once I finish the class, I have around 10 messages from different people. So can't join, can't join, can't join, can't join. Okay, then that is unrival because you join, one fellow couldn't join. But now here there is non-rivalry, right? I have a bigger Zoom account. It's enough for everyone to come. You also can learn. Your friend can also learn. All 100 people here, we are all learning. No problem at all. It's non-rival. So what is non-rival? The absence of competition in consumption. Just because one person gets it, it doesn't limit another person. That person also can get it. Just because your house is getting street light, that doesn't mean your neighbor is getting less street light. He's also getting. Your neighbor in the other side also is getting street light. Your neighbor on the left-hand side is also getting, right-hand side is also getting. No problem. Everyone is consumed. Meaning, these are non-rival. Now, even think about, now, for example, take a clock tower. Just because I look at the time in the clock tower, does that mean you can't look? Oh no. I also can look, you also can look, your girlfriend can also look, your boyfriend also looks, your mother also looks, everyone can look at the clock tower. Everyone can see the time. No problem. Non-rival. If consumption of a particular good or service by a person without limiting the consumption of another is identified as non-rival. When one person consumes, it doesn't limit the consumption of another. I also can consume, you also can consume, your friend can also consume. No problem. No one will get less of it. Meaning it's non-rival. Okay. So non-rival is not really a reason for the market economy not to produce it. The reason is non-excludable. Both of these are characteristics. So due to this, marginal cost of consumption will be zero. That's a different story. We'll come to that later. Okay. Examples: clock towers, national defense, street light, and a lighthouse. I will quickly go to global public goods, and then I'll give you all a summary. And after that, if you all have questions, you can clarify. Yes. What is this last point? Can you all tell me what is the marginal cost of providing a public good to someone else? What is marginal cost? The additional cost of providing it to someone else. Now, let's say, for example, in your lane, there are 5 houses. Now, let's say someone else also built a house and came. Now, there are 6 houses. So, what is the additional cost to provide street light for that person? What is the marginal cost? It's zero, right? So, marginal cost of providing a public good to someone else is zero. Now, think of a clock tower. Think of a clock tower. Just because someone looks at a clock tower, that doesn't mean it's this. Yes, no marginal cost. That doesn't mean it's a free good. Free goods are different, guys. Free goods are, remember, non-economic goods. Those are the sunlight, air, rainwater, not that. But here the marginal cost is a zero. Then also, there is something called global public goods. What are these fellows? Public goods, right? Global public goods. What are these? These are public goods which lie beyond geographical boundaries. Meaning, the benefits of this is received in the entire world. So I'll give some examples. Examples like knowledge, financial stability, world peace, and even think like my atmosphere. Now, for example, take the ozone layer. Now, I don't know if you all know your science. Do you all know that the ozone layer, there is something called the ozone layer that protects us from UV rays from the sun and different things? Do you all know there is something like that? I know we are not science people, but do you all know the basic science? Yes, we study from grade 6 now. You all know something like that, right? Now, what are those? Those are global public goods, non-rival. And just because I am getting protected from the ozone layer, that doesn't mean you're not getting protected. Non-rival, non-excludable. They can't ask you to pay, or otherwise we will not give you ozone layer protection, nothing like that. It's non-excludable, non-rival. the entire world is benefiting from it. Meaning it's a global public good. So for a good to become a global public good, what should be the element? One is it has to be non-rival, no competition in consumption. Two, non-excludable. You all know now what is non-rival, non-excludable. And third one, the benefit of such good can be gained by anyone who lives in the world. The whole world should benefit from. Then we call it a global public good. So what's a global public good? It's also a public good, non-rival, non-excludable. Only addition is the entire world benefits from. Entire world benefits from. Under that. So let me quickly summarize. If you have questions after that, you can ask. Okay. So I taught you all. Okay, I'll go from the beginning. We'll quick summary in 1 minute. Started the unit talking about something called market failure. What is market failure? Market failure is where the market economy is failing, right? Inefficiency in resource allocation, so many different issues. Then there are three reasons. What are the three reasons? First reason is inefficiency in resource allocation. Second reason, macroeconomic instability. Third reason, unequal income distribution. Now, what are we doing? We're studying these reasons in detail. We are still in the first reason. In the first reason also, we are learning the first sub-reason. That's all we did. So, under inefficiency in resource allocation, I taught you the first reason, that is non-provision of public goods, meaning the market economy does not provide. What is non-provision? Not provide. Market economy does not provide or produce public goods. So they are not allocating resources for that. You can't have an economy without public goods. You can't have an economy without street light. You can't have an economy without national defense. So that's where the market is failing. One reason. Okay. Then what are public goods? Public goods are the goods that are non-rival and non-excludable. What is non-excludable? Inability to prevent someone from consuming, even if they have not paid. Even if they haven't paid, there is no way to stop them from consuming. What is non-rival? There is no competition in consumption. You also can get, your neighbor can also get, your girlfriend can also get, no issue. That's non-rival. Then coming into that's the market failure part. Why does the market fail to provide public goods? The market fails to provide public goods because these goods are non-excludable. So consumers with their self-interest in mind, even if you don't pay, if you can get the good, no one is willing to pay. No one is willing to pay means you can't charge a price then. You can't charge a price. So if you can't charge a price, you can't make a profit. No price means no sales, no profit then. If you can't make a profit, the private sector who is profit oriented in a market economy, will they ever produce this? They don't produce public goods under market failure. What is a global public good? A global public good is also a public good, non-rival, non-excludable. In addition to those two, the other benefit is what? The benefits, or in other words, this global public good is something that will benefit the entire world. Entire world will get the benefit of. Examples, things like knowledge, financial stability, world peace, the atmosphere, even atmosphere connected, ozone layer, they are all global public. Is that okay? Fine. If you have questions, you can ask. If you're okay, let me know that it's a yes so that I know you're on track. Fine. Okay. So we take a small 5-minute break. I'll give you a little bit of a longer break in a while. not real natural good. Now, for example, knowledge, finance, stability, they're not real natural goods. There is no rule saying that global public goods have to be natural goods. Right? Right. We'll take a small 4-minute break and then we'll come to it. Otherwise, a longer break will lose focus. We'll come to this quasi-public goods. So we'll take a break until 8:20. It's 8:16 now. You can get some water. I'll also get some water. You can take a break until 8:24 minutes. Don't leave. Just mute yourself and walk around and come. For the ones who are leaving, by no issue. I'm not going to hold you back. It's your exam. That's your decision to make. Okay. So take a 4-minute break. Come back and come soon. Right. Okay, we can start. Will this upload on YouTube? I might, but I don't know when I will. Okay. Okay. So coming into quasi-public goods. Yeah. When the market economy doesn't provide public goods, that's one reason for market failing. That's not the only reason. There are more. Okay. Now, we'll come into this. We'll come into the next one. We're going to talk about something called quasi-public goods. I'll give you a longer break at 9, okay? From 9 to 9:15, like I'll give you a little bit of longer break. Class will go until 10, okay? Because we have a lot to do now. If I can finish until page 5, then I will finish the class. We're going through quasi-public goods. What are quasi-public goods? We call this semi-public goods. So we say quasi-public goods are the goods that have what? Quasi-public goods are the goods in which there is no real competition. In other words, that means it is non-rival, no competition, non-rival until it reaches full capacity. And okay, and consumption can be limited. Consumption can be limited means it is excludable. When I give you all examples, you all will understand that. We'll take a highway, we look. Okay, take a highway. Okay, so what do you all think? Is the highway, in the highway, if you don't pay, can they stop you from using the highway? Yes or no? If you don't pay now, you all know expressways, highways that is there. Can they stop you from, can they not allow you to go? Yes, right. Do you think if now let's say in the highway, I know if you all have gone in the highway, if you all go near the toll, right, the toll gate, let's say you say, no, I'm not paying. Do you think they will open the toll gate and let you go? They won't. Right? They'll be like, okay, you go back home. So meaning they are excludable, right? What is excludable? The opposite of non-excludable. So excludable means people who do not pay can be excluded from consuming the good. So if you all want, you can write what is excludable. You don't have to pay any for this. It's what is excludable. Excludable means, right? Consumers who do not pay, can be excluded. Can be excluded from consuming the good. So they, if you don't pay for the highway, they won't send you in the highway. Now uh, think of a museum. If you don't buy the ticket, can you go inside? You can't. Meaning it's excludable. Without paying, you can't go inside the museum and do stuff. You can't. So meaning they are excludable. That is clear, no, guys? Excludable. Public goods, they were non-excludable. Quasi-public goods, for semi-public goods, they are excludable. Meaning if you don't pay, you can't consume. They can stop you. So if you don't buy the ticket at the museum, on the entrance, they won't take you in. They will exclude you. They'll say, okay, bye, go home. And then the interesting thing is this, the second one. The second one is, it's non-rival. Now just tell me, just because I am going in the highway, now let's say, now I don't have a vehicle, though, let's say, but I'm driving a vehicle, I'm going in the highway. Just because I am going in the highway, Does that mean y'all can't go in the highway? Is that becoming a problem for y'all? Is that stopping you from going, or is that stopping your vehicle from doing some? No, right? Not even. Let's say I go to the museum. I'm going to the museum and now I'm looking at what is there, and there is Sri Vikramaraj Singh sword, and this and that. I'm looking. Just because I am looking and observing the museum, does that mean that you can't come and look and observe? You can also look and observe and do everything you want. So meaning it's non-rival. But the interesting thing is we say non-rival until it reaches its capacity. I'll give you another example. Like my Zoom account. My Zoom account. Remember, my 100 participant Zoom account. Yes, you can even take public transport. Public transport becomes a private good account. Okay. Now you take my Zoom account, my normal account, which I have 100 participants. Until 100, it's non-rival. Until 100, anyone can join, anyone can leave. You can come. Just because you come, no one else is harmed. It's non-rival. The moment it reaches capacity, the moment my Zoom account reaches 100, and it becomes rival. Now the next person can't come. Now, if you leave when someone else joins, now you can't join. It's full. So that's what we say, non-rival until it reaches capacity. Now think a highway also. Just because a few vehicles are going, it's non-rival. Let's say highway gets packed. Now so many people are going in the highway. Then it becomes rival, right? Then even a museum. Now think I went to the museum on a day that some school has bought their entire primary section and come to the museum that day. Let's say. This is we pay for the highway. That's excludable part. I'm talking about the rival part. Okay. Now think to the museum. I bought the ticket and went. Now the day I buy the ticket and went, let's say Royal College and Visakha and everyone, all the boys schools and the girls schools, they have bought the entire primary section. So now there are 500 small kids in the museum roaming around and running and this. Then will I be able to properly look at what is there and observe everything? I might not be able to, no? There are so many students running around. See, that point it becomes rival. And that point the museum is rival. That fellow's consumption is limiting my consumption. Because those 500 kids are running around and shouting and watching everything. Now I can't consume that properly. Unrival. So what is non-rival? Non-rival means that the consumption of one person doesn't limit the consumption of another person. But if there are 500 kids running in the museum, if the museum has reached capacity, now when I buy the ticket and go, now I can't watch properly, no? I can't see what is there. Small kids are running and right, problems. And that's what he said. So once again, quasi-public goods, or we call this semi-public goods, they are excludable. Meaning, if they don't pay for it, if consumers don't pay for it, they can exclude the people. They can say, right, you're not going to come. You're not going to get this. In the museum, if you don't buy the ticket, you can't go in. You're excluded. In the highway, if you don't pay the highway fee, they won't let your vehicle go. Excluded. So it's excludable. In general, it's non-rival. Just because I am going in the highway, that it's not stopping you. You're also nicely going. Just because I go and look at the museum and nicely wait, that doesn't mean you're also harm. You're also nicely looking and you're also nicely there. No problem. But even though it's non-rival, moment it reaches capacity, moment it gets full, unrival restarts. If the highway gets crowded and packed under, now my vehicle can't. If the museum, if the whole primary section of Royal and Visakha comes, and now I can't go and look at what is there. So then it becomes rival. So that's why we say non-rival. Within brackets, I have said until it reaches capacity. And rival until it reaches capacity. And then it's excludable. Is that fine? What's a quasi-public or a semi-public? Now we'll come into why does this lead to market fail? Now that's our broader topic. No, broad topic is market fail, right? Now, what's public goods, right? We figured out what those are. But why do these lead to market failure? Yes, can you all tell me what is the marginal cost of providing a quasi-public good for one additional person? Let's say there are 50 cars going in the highway. Now I am also going to go in the highway. What is the additional cost? Not for me, for the producer. For the, let's say in our side, it's the government. What's the cost for the government to provide that service for? Zero, right? The marginal cost to produce. Okay, let's say I'm going to the museum. What's the additional cost for the museum to provide me that service? Nothing. I buy the ticket, they're like, ah, go. Forget about the ticket printing cost. Right? I'm just saying. So the marginal cost of providing a quasi-public good to one more consumer is also zero. Okay? Now that is where it leads to market failure. I'll come to the story. Now, let's say Lamai will say, okay, now you're going on a trip. And now for Valentine's, now today is Valentine's. Now, let's say you and your girlfriend or your boyfriend, now let's say on the highway, you all are going on a trip. Let's say you all are going to Galle. Okay, right? So now you go to the highway entrance. Highway entrance, and then those fellows say, okay, to go to Galle, that fellow says ticket is 500 rupees. Ticket is 500 rupees. Now you have only 400 rupees in your purse. So you're telling the fellow in the highway, the counter there, right? I know economics, right? Arshad sir taught me. I know the marginal cost of me going, now that film doesn't understand, but you're still explaining, right? You're saying, look here, I know economics. The marginal cost of me going in this highway is zero. So I will give you 400. You allow me to go. Still, you're making a profit. But if I give you 400 rupees, your cost of me going is nothing. No? You're still making a 400 rupee profit. I don't have 500. I will give you 400. What do you think that fellow is going to tell you? You go and now give your economics for a talk and you tell, look, yeah, I know marginal cost. Your marginal cost is zero. I will give you 400. Allow me to go. What is he going to tell you? He is going to tell you some nice words. And then will he allow you to go? Will he allow you to use the highway? Even though his marginal cost is zero, he will not allow you to use the highway. Think same thing, you're going to the museum now. Now let's say, see, you do you know couples go to the museum on a budget date, right? So museum is a nice place to, have you all been to museum? No? In school they take, right? I didn't know the ones from outside Colombo. Colombo schools now they take you all. Usually small days they take you to the museum, man. I remember in our school also they took us, man. Go to the museum and see. It's very boring though. Small days it's good. Now it's very boring. At university once I had two friends, right? We had nothing to do. We just had to kill around 2-3 hours. So we just bought the ticket to the museum and went. We walked around 10-15 minutes and we were tired. We just sat and wait. Okay, so you can go and see. Okay. Uh, it's a place that couples all sometimes go to like waste time just to walk around. Ticket is only 50 rupees or 100 rupees. I can't remember. Or maximum 200, I think now. Not expensive. Let's say you can walk around, right? There is outside, there is nice grass, there are benches. Inside, you can walk around, see what's there. It's a nice place. This, let's say you and your boyfriend or girlfriend, right? Now on Valentine's, you all are going on a budget date. You don't have that much of money. Hardly you have saved some pocket money. Where are you going? You're going to the museum. Museum ticket is 200 rupees. Same story. You only have 150 rupees in your purse. So you tell the security at the museum, look here, I know economics, right? I know the marginal cost of me going into the museum is zero for you. Okay, me going and seeing is nothing. So I will give you 150 rupees. Allow me and my girlfriend to go into the museum. What will the fellow tell you? He'll tell you some nice words and he will chase you off. So what am I getting here, guys? What am I getting here? Where is this market failure part connected? where the market failure part is connected. For these quasi-public goods, okay, for these quasi-public goods, the producers are charging a price. They're charging a price way higher than their marginal cost. Their marginal cost is zero, but they are charging a price way higher than. So because of that, what is happening? What is happening? A consumer, you, who is even willing to pay a little bit of a lesser price. In the highway, instead of 500, you said, can I pay 400? That fellow didn't let you. In the museum, instead of 200, you said, Dane, I will pay 150. Still, he didn't let you. So for consumers who are even willing to pay a little lower price, they are unable to consume that good, right? You can't. So if the highway ticket is 400, 500 rupees, even if I say I pay 490, he won't allow me. But even if I pay 490, it's a big profit for him. But he won't let me go. You see? So because of that, what happens now? Because of that, there are so many people who are unable to consume that product. So you know what happens? These quasi-public goods are consumed at a lower level than the social optimal level. So ideally, in a highway, to make best use of, let's say, the Colombo Southern Expressway, to make best use of this highway, let's say 1,000 vehicles should be traveling. 1,000 vehicles should be traveling. But because of the fact that these people are charging a price way higher than their marginal cost, so many people who can't afford 5, they can afford 400, they can afford 300, but still they are not allowed to go. So ideally, maybe social optimal level, ideally, let's say 1,000 people should be going in the highway in 1 hour, but only 200 people are going. 800 people are not able to go. Why? Because they are willing to pay a little lesser than. They can't afford 500. 480, okay. 400, okay. But still they don't get the chance. Under market rate. I'll read the thing and then I'll explain it in detail. Yes, again. Look at the second paragraph. When supplying quasi-public goods, producers can charge a price greater than the marginal cost. Marginal cost we learned that is zero. Nothing, no. Just because you go to the museum and you look, is there a cost for them? No. Marginal cost of providing it is zero. So at those situations, the opportunity to consume the product to a consumer who is willing to pay a price lower than the price charged. So price charge in the highway is 500. You're willing to pay 400. But still, what happens? The opportunity will be lost. He can't go. Museum ticket is 200, you are willing to pay 150, they won't take you inside. Highway ticket is 400, let's say 500, you are willing to pay 400, they won't take you inside. No, the opportunity is lost. So due to that reason, what happens, Laman? Due to that reason, consumption takes place at a lower level than the social optimum. So social optimum, we have spent so much and built a highway that is for 1,000 people to properly travel. But because these fellows are charging a price way higher than the marginal cost, only 200 people are traveling. So many people who are willing to pay, let's say 400 and go in the highway can't, 300 and go in the highway can't. Because highway is saying price is 500. So many people lose the opportunity. So as a result, what happens? Consumption takes place at a lower level than the social law. What happens? So that is again non-optimal consumption of quasi-public. So these quasi-public goods, Lamai, has to be used more. They are not properly being utilized. You have to, if there is a highway, under 1,000 people should be traveling in that. Then only that highway is properly used. But only 200 people are going. If you go to the museum, right, so many people have to be looking at it, but very less people are. So consumption takes place at a lower level than the source. So leading to what? Non-optimal consumption. Optimal level is there, 1,000 people, but you're not going there. Only 200 are going in the highway. Non-optimal consumption of quasi-public goods. So still whether we can, yeah, you can consume these goods. It's that a lot of people miss the opportunity of consuming. That's number 2 number here. Non-optimal consumption of quasi-public goods. Another reason for market failure. These quasi, now in simple words, what is non-optimal consumption of quasi-public goods? These quasi-public goods, it should be consumed more. You should be using this more, but you're not using it enough. That is where it leads to market failure. Is that okay? What is a quasi-public good? That it is non-rival, excludable. How it leads to market failure. Fine. Remember it with the story. Remember you go in the highway, you're going on a date to the museum. Remember it that way. Remember your neighbor's light. Okay. Now we'll come into private goods. We learned public goods. We learned semi-public goods. And now we are learning what? Private. Private goods don't lead to market failure, right? But we are still learning it because under private goods, there are something called merit and demerit. Under those lead to market failure. Remember, private goods is not leading to market failure. So what is a private good then? The private good is the opposite of a public good, meaning a private good is a good that is rival. What does that mean? Meaning, if one person comes, it limits the opportunity for another person. Now, for example, like the what? Like the exclusive class I told you. Okay. The exclusive class that I said that I am starting from March onwards. So I told you all I only have, it's a physical setting. Only 20 seats are there. It's like a very posh class with a nice environment. Only 20 seats are there. So when one person joins that class, that means another person's opportunity is lost, no? When one person joins that. No, guys, also one more thing, don't get this wrong. Don't define saying public goods are the goods provided by the public sector, private goods are provided by the private sector. That's not what we mean, right? When you are defining these goods, you have to define it based on this. Rival equivalent. We'll work on answer writing in the revision class, but remember that. Okay? That's how you define. Don't say public goods are the ones provided by the public sector. Okay? And same with private. So then think of my exclusive class. It's rival, no? Definitely rival. If you all don't pay the fee, sorry, when one of you all join, that means there is less available for the other person. One of you all come and the other person now, there is nothing left. Secondly, it is excludable. If you don't pay the fee and register, you can't come. If you don't pay the fee and register, you can't come. So it is what? It is rival and excluder. So yes, a rival means there is competition in consumption. That's what it means. There is competition in consumption. In unit 1, we don't go into detail into public goods. I didn't teach public goods in unit number 1. If your teacher is there, it's not really a part of unit number 1. It's a part here. Okay. So once again, what's a private good, guys? A private good is a good that is rival in consumption, meaning that consumption by one individual prevents another individual from consuming. Now, in my exclusive class, if one of you all register and book a seat, meaning another person has lost the opportunity, right? Because there are only limited seats. So every time one person joins, other people are losing. So it's a rival in consumption. You don't pay the fees, I won't take you inside. It is excludable under private. That's what a private good is about. So then, mm, private goods doesn't lead to market failure, right? There is no issue with private goods. But the problem is there are two types of private goods, Lava. For private goods, there are merit goods, there are demerit goods. And these two fellows only lead to market failure. There are two types of private goods. Private goods alone market failure. Now, private goods, there are multiple private goods, but certain private goods are merit goods. Certain private goods are demerit. Now, those fellows are leading to market failure. That is where the problem comes. So we will learn how the may merit, how the may demerit. Again, interesting. Who is merit now? Yes. We will learn this in detail in externalities also. Yes, I say the goods in which social benefit of consumption exceeds the private benefit. Those goods are called merit goods. A good example I can give you is this class right now. Yes, how many of y'all, I don't know, y'all maybe learn from me or whatever. How many of you all teach your friends? You share your notes, you teach your friend comes with you with a doubt. You say, look here, my sir taught like this, only this is how it works. How many of you all do that in school? No, I don't know, anywhere, yes. You teach your friends, help them with certain stuff. You do, right? Now, think, Will, that's a merit good. How? Now think, Labai. When y'all are, okay, if you look at this class that we are doing right now, it's not just a private benefit, right? Now, where I am doing this class, you're learning, it will help you pass the exam. And that is your private benefit. What is that? That is your private benefit. But because of the fact that you're coming to this class and you're learning and all, your friend, like maybe your best friend. So your best friend also looks at your tute, right? He or she also learns, right? They clarify doubts from you. They ask, how does this, what is this market failure? You say, look, your sir said like this, right? And you're now helping them. Now see, because of your thing, now there is an external benefit as well. There is a what? External benefit, not you. Someone else is also getting it. Because you came to this class, you have a private benefit, right? It helps you to write the exam. It will help you pass. But not just your private benefit, there is external benefit. Someone else, your friend, not even involved in this class or anything, but they are also learning. So that private benefit plus social benefit together, external benefit together, that's what you call the social benefit. What is social benefit? The entire benefit for the society. Now, because of the fact that I am doing this class, what's the entire benefit for the society? One is your private benefit, your learning. Two, you're going and teaching your friend. Or maybe someday you might teach your younger brother or sister. And external benefit. So, both of those put together is what you call your social benefit. So, coming back to merit goods. Merit goods are goods where there is this social benefit, meaning not just you, but someone outside is also getting benefited. Now, here, one is education. Another thing I'll give you is this. Now, for example, now, what about this? Do you think the COVID vaccine is a merit good? Think. So, COVID vaccine, in addition to you, there's the people around you, someone else, do they also get benefit? Obviously, you have a private benefit. Yes, right. That's something, no? The COVID vaccine, when you get injected under private benefit, you're getting a benefit. In addition for you getting the benefit, okay, that's a positive extent. Will come with, okay. In addition to you getting benefited, under people around you, Your family you will not spread the disease to any of your family, right? Someone else will not get it from you, and they are also getting weighted. That means there's an external benefit. So that's positive externality. I'll come to the externality part later. We'll learn that in detail. But here, so these are goods that generate positive externalities in consumption. I have not taught you externalities. That's our next topic for tomorrow. I will teach you that. Don't worry. So now I want you to think. Okay. Now, all of y'all who paid your class fees and came. Now, you all paid for our theory class. How much is the class fee? 2,500. For that 2,500, and you can come for 2 classes a week. That's 8 classes a month. You get the tute, you get the record. When you were paying this 2,500, did any of y'all think, right? Did any of y'all think, I will come to this class, I will study, and I will teach my friend also? Did any of y'all think of that? This is helping me for my friend to also learn. My friend is also clarifying doubts. Did you all think? Or in other words, think, will a consumer in a market economy self-interest. In a market economy, a consumer with self-interest, will he think? Will he think that this is going to help my friends also, so I will come to class? No, right? You will only think about yourself. When you paid your fee and joined this class, or even right now, you could have done something else. Now, why do you think right now you're sitting in front of a table and a laptop or a phone or something and listening to me talking nonsense? Is it because you want to pass the exam? In others, is it because for your private benefit? Or is it because you think I will learn nicely, I will go and help my friend? No, right? Is anyone thinking of your friend right now? Is anyone thinking of, I will go and help my friend there? No. All of you all are thinking, and I will learn this, I will pass the exam. This will help me pass the exam. So you all are, there's nothing wrong in that, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is, everyone thinks of their private benefit. You're not looking at the external benefit. So what do you think? The real benefit of this class, is it underestimated or overestimated? Now, you all only think that this class will help me pass your exam. That's what you're thinking. The real benefit of the class is underestimated, right? Because you're thinking, the benefit of this class is I will pass the exam. But that is not the real benefit. The real benefit, you will pass the exam. You will help your friends pass the exam. Your friends might help someone else. Even during the exam, your friend will ask for the answer. You will be like, you will show fingers like this. And that fellow is also helping getting done. Because you came and learned today. See, the real benefit is not just for you. But everyone doesn't think of that, right? So people think only of their private benefit. So meaning the real benefit, in other words, okay, the real benefit is underestimated. So people think, you're thinking that, okay, if I come to this class, the benefit I'm getting is I will pass the exam. That's all. No one thought in addition to passing the exam, I can teach my friend. Is any of you all, do you all have a teacher that you all teach the teacher? I've had things like that in school. Sometimes teachers clarify doubts from me. I learn from class and go and I clarify them. Anyone like that? No? Your teacher takes your note or something and ask you how, sometimes they don't directly ask you, but they, that has that happened? Happened? No, right, nice, good. Sometimes it happens. It has happened to me also. So that's there. So did you ever think of that? See, because you're coming to my class right now and learning, and your teacher is also getting benefit. No? So the real benefit of this class is much more, But you all only think of, I can pass, I can pass. You only think of your private benefit. So because of the fact that the real benefit is much more, and People are not thinking of all of that. In a uh, market economy, consumers with self-interest, they don't go to think of all of that. No, when you come to a class, you don't think, oh, I can help my friend, my teacher will clarify the doubt. I can help my sister and brother someday. You don't think of that. You only think, I can pass. It will help me pass. That's all. So what is happening there? Given that the real benefit is unless now, you all think now, let's say I put some numbers here. So the actual benefit, let's say you're getting a benefit of 100, private benefit. You're getting a benefit of 100. I just try to put some numbers. And because you're coming to this class, your friends are clarifying doubts from you. Your teacher sometimes usually little lost comes and asks you, can I look at your dude and clarify? And they are also getting a, let's say there's external benefit of 20. So the real benefit of this class is 120. The real benefit, the social benefit, the benefit to the entire society is 120. But when making this decision, you're thinking that the class is only giving a benefit of 100. You only think of yourself. So real benefit is underestimated. Meaning, you know what will happen. Meaning, you know what will happen. Consumption of these goods will take place at less than the social optimum. Because people are not looking at the real benefit. People think, you are underestimating now. This class right now is helping a lot, not just you, it's helping your friends, it's helping your relatives, it's helping your younger brother, sister, it's helping your teacher sometimes. There's a big benefit, but that benefit is neglected. So what happens? People think benefit is only 100, but the actual benefit is 120. So because the fact that the benefit is underestimated, what happens? Consumption of this good takes place at less than the social optimal level. So ideally, let's say 150 people should be coming and learning in this class. But because people are underestimating the benefit of this class, see now how many are there? Only around 90 are there. Before the break, there were 100. Now some people have gone. See what happened? Due to this reason, consumption of a merit good would be at less than the social optimal level. So we'll read the note, see whether it makes sense. You see, guys, although merit goods are provided, now I'm not saying that the market economy doesn't provide merit. Market economy provides. Market economy provides education. They provide, no problem. Although merit goods are provided by the market system, it does not happen in an optimum way. The reason for that is consumption decisions related to supplying of those goods are taken only by considering private benefits. The consumption decision you relating, your deciding to buy it will only depend on your private benefit and cost. While disregarding external benefits, you don't think of the benefit for your friend, you don't think the benefit of your for your brother and sister. So due to this reason, what happens? Due to this reason, the consumption of a merit good would be at a level less than the social norm. Consumption takes place at a level less than the social optimal level. Ideally, let's say 150 students should be coming to this class and learning. But since the benefit of this class is underestimated, only 100 people come. Then vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine, same story. The COVID-19 vaccine not just helps you, but prevents other people from getting it. But you don't think of that part. You only think, COVID-19 vaccine, I will not get COVID. So the benefit you underestimate. You're thinking of only you. So then amount of people getting vaccinated is also less than the social optimum. Ideally, right now, ideally, let's say in Sri Lanka, if there are 20 million people, I don't know, even small kids, right? Ideally, all 20 million should have got vaccinated. But did all 20 million get vaccinated? No. Do you know that Sri Lanka had to throw a huge amount of expired vaccines? Around 4 5 million, if I'm not mistaken. Millions of expired vaccines we had to throw. Why? So many people didn't take the second dose and third dose. First dose, most people got. The second dose, third dose, no one got. So imagine, do you think these vaccines are free? would have been very costly. I mean, do you think you can get a vaccine for 50 rupees? I don't know the cost, but I feel at least that COVID-19 vaccine would have at least been 500,000. So 1,000 means $3. So these companies, Pfizer and all, they're American companies. After spending so much to make a vaccine, do you think they will sell it at $1? Crazy. Would have been how? They would have sold that to our government. Let's say $5. $5 means $5 into now 300. Let's say 1,500. So one vaccine was 1,500 rupees. Around 5 million vaccines were just thrown. Why did that consumption not happen? Because people underestimated the benefit of it. That's what happens in merit goods. In merit goods, consumption takes place at less than the social optimal. It's under-consumed. And also at one point, it becomes underproduced then. So you have to allocate more resources. You have to go and get more vaccines. You go and get yourself educated more, but people don't. So under merit goods become under consumed. So if I go back to the page here, the third reason, non-provision of merit goods optimally. I am not saying merit goods are not consumed at all, Neve. I am saying they are not consumed enough. That's what I'm saying. Right? So if you want within brackets, say not consumed enough. It has to be consumed more. The COVID-19 vaccine, ideally, all of you all should have got. But did you all get the second and third dose? I don't think. So it's not consumed enough. That is what is there over there. Okay. Is that fine? That's merit goods and how merit goods lead to market failure. Here. We'll quickly do demerit goods and then I'll give you all a break. Okay. Right. Demerit goods, complete opposite. What are demerit goods? Demerit goods are the goods that have a negative external. What are externalities we will learn later, don't worry. I'll give you a good reason example of a cigarette. Okay. Now let's say you're smoking. You're smoking. When you're smoking, now let's say your friends don't smoke and you smoke, let's say you're saying, so I feel relaxed when I smoke, you're giving some nonsense and right. That is your private benefit. You're smoking and you're getting benefited, you're feeling relaxed and you feel calm and now you can think better. That's your argument. But when you ever buy a cigarette and smoke, let's say you're smoking with your friends, your friend doesn't smoke, he's drinking a plain tea next to you and sitting and waiting. He or she, you're smoking now, right? Your friend is sitting next to you. That person is sipping a plain tea and eating, let's say, milk toffee and waiting. Do you ever think that because of the fact that you're smoking, that your friend is getting harmed? Do you ever think that there is an external party who is getting passive smoking and not good for that fellow? No, do you ever think of that when you're buying the cigarette? Not really, right? When you're buying the cigarette, you're thinking that Tanna, you will feel relaxed, you will feel this, Tanna, you're buying a cigarette. Do you ever think that people around you, right, are getting harmed? Now, even those who drink, right, let's say someone who's consuming alcohol, do you ever now when you're consuming alcohol, you say, right, it's fun, right, all happening, that's the trend, right? You're drinking. But do you ever think that because of you, someone else's life could be, let's say you drink and drive. After sometimes drinking, you trouble other people. And you go to a big match and see, I know the girls, the boys, you all have seen that, right? I know if you're the reason now, the big matches are coming. Royal Dominion is also happening on 7th, 8th, 9th, right? So go and see. So many fellows are drunk and sometimes down. Drunk and, sometimes, they're playing the pool, right? Playing and, throwing stuff here and there. And that's what happens. So do you ever think that you're being a nuisance so you're troubling other people? So what is happening there? In a good like this, right? these demerit goods, there is actually a there is actually an external cost, right? When you're smoking, unless someone else is making passive smoke, right? He's engaging in passive smoking and he's getting sick. When you drink, right? Someone else's life is under threat. You might go and knock them sometimes. You behave badly. Do you ever think of those external costs? You don't. You don't. You're only thinking, oh, when I drink more fun, when I smoke, I feel that. You only think of that. So people, consumers in a market economy only think of their private benefit. They don't think what will happen to the other people. They don't think what will happen to your friend who is sleeping the plane next to you. They don't think what will happen to a person in the road if you drink and drive. They don't think of that. So actually, this is harmful. But what happens? People are ignoring. They ignore the what? They ignore the cost, external cost. So if I am to give you some numbers and show you Lamai, now let's say when you're smoking, your private benefit, let's say the private benefit you get is 100. You feel relaxed and you're getting private 100. But because of you, the external benefit, the people next to you, they are not really getting a benefit. Their benefit is minus 20. They are actually harmed. The external benefit is minus, meaning they are not getting a benefit, they are getting a harm, right? So how much is my social benefit then? What is the benefit of the society? Society is you and your friends and everyone around you. So the social benefit is only a 80, right? The social benefit is only a 80. Or getting a benefit of 100, you feel relaxed. Okay, even when you drink or something, you feel relaxed, you feel fun, you're dancing, and you're getting a benefit of 100. But other people, it's a problem for them. For them, it's a negative benefit. You're troubling them. External benefit is a minus. So actual social benefit is only 80. So see what happens here. Over here, what happens is the real benefit is overestimated, right? The real benefit. Oops, sorry. If we look at these, right? What happens? The real benefit is only 80, but you think of the benefit is 100. So the real benefit here, the real benefit is overestimated because you only think about your private benefit, no? You think about when I drink, I'm getting a benefit of 100, but actually it's only 80 because your people around you are getting harmed. So, but don't think of those. So real benefit gets overestimated. So what happens there then? What happens there? These demerit goods, a market economy ends up overproducing them. Or in other words, you can say, Lamai, over consuming them. So these demerit, since they don't think, no, people don't think that they are harming the other people. They don't think of that. So alcohol, cigarette, drugs, all of this, they are overconsumed. That's another problem. So now we are studying inefficiency in resource allocation. So overconsumption means what? Overconsumption means you're allocating too much of resources to produce these. You're allocating too much of land, labor, capital to produce alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes. And you should not be consumed. Now, for merit goods, you're under-consuming means what? You're under-consuming means that the economy is not providing enough resources for education. They're not providing enough resources for this. They're under-consuming. Under. Market failure. Inefficiency in resource allocation. That is the demerit part. So remember, Namai, demerit goods are also rival and exploitable. They come under private goods. All the private goods don't have to be demerit and merit, but it comes under that. So coming back. And point number 4. What is point number 4? Over provision of demerit goods, meaning consumed more than social optimum level. So you're consuming more. Why? Because you are thinking only the huge benefit, you're overestimating the benefit. That's the issue there. Is that okay? Fine. Merit goods are underconsumed, demerit goods are overconsumed. Both of that leads to inefficiency in resource allocation. We studied 1, 2, 3, and we have a few more. Right. So take a 10-minute break and then come back. Then we have 40 minutes. I think I should be able to finish. Common property, externalities, I will not go in detail because we will go through in detail. And yes, in 40 minutes, I should be able to finish. Then we can finish this part and we will be happy that we finished the target for today. So we take a break until 9:20. I know it's hard, guys. I know it's not, for me also, it's not easy to sit in front of a laptop and talk for 3 hours at a stretch. And I know it's not easy for you all to sit in front of phone or laptop and listen to 3 hours at a stretch. But we need to get this done. And I can also waste time, but I don't want to. I always told this to you all. I can also drag the theory class until around September, October, just do a 2-hour class a week. I can really do that, but I don't want to. So we'll work a little harder because all of this will one day start to pay off. Won't be easy, but definitely will be worth it, right? So, okay, we'll take a break until 9:20. You have 9 minutes. Walk around, get some this thing and all, and come. Yes, LOs in disabled. We spoke about that right at the beginning in case you missed. Okay, so take a break and come. Okay, right. Another 40 minutes to go. We can get this done. Maybe we can finish it a little earlier than that also because the next parts are very easy, Lamai. I just have to teach you common resources. These other parts are very simple. And then we are done. So maybe even in another 25 to 30 minutes also, I should be able to finish. That's good news. Okay. Right. You start. And there is a small quiz as well. Okay. So coming into common resources. So what are common resources? How does it work? Common resources are the resources that we say they are rival but non-excludable. Rival but non-excludable. Okay, so goods which are rival but non-excludable. Example, I'll take fisheries. Now think in your area, there is a small lake. There is a small lake. Let's say early morning, your neighbor goes and catches all the fish. So there is a small fishing area near your house. Let's say he goes and he puts the rod in and then he has caught all the fish. Now 1 hour later, you're also going to, now you woke up a little late. 1 hour later, you're also going fishing. But now you don't have much fish to catch. Why? Because your neighbor has gone 1 hour before you. He has caught most of the fish for that day and he has come. Meaning it is rival, right? Because of the fact that your neighbor, because of the fact that even, yes, from this you can cut off atmosphere, guys. Atmosphere is a mistake. Here what I tried to put is the different other types of air. You can cut off atmosphere. Okay, from the examples, cut off atmosphere. Okay, so if you take things like grasslands, let's say a nice grassy area, let's say like a wetland kind of thing. So they are rival. So if someone goes and let's say cuts a tree in a grassland, and meaning you all have less fish. If someone goes and fishes and catch some fish and come, meaning you have less fish. It's a rival. Meaning when one person consumes, it leaves less for another person. Rival. But they are non-excludable. You can't stop anyone to come and fish. Anyone can come and fish. There is a common lake. Anyone can come and put a fishing rod and catch some fish. Maybe put a net and catch some fish, or put a boat and catch some fish. You can do. It's not excludable. You don't have to pay a price, or no one can put you out like that. Those are what? Common property resources. That's what you call common resources. Resources which are non-excludable. So anyone can go and this thing, no price to pay, no one can exclude you, they're non-excludable. But tribal, think of the fish. If you go and catch fish, under there is less fish for the other person. So examples, fisheries, grasslands, those can be stuff. Then Lamai, how does this lead to market failure then? There was a question before the break. Should you know that how these lead to market failure? Yes. So how does this lead to market failure? The problem with this is these are common resources, Lamai, non-excludable. They become exploited. Have you all seen? Have you all seen now? Even if you take things like now, beach is not a perfect example for this, but think of a beach also. These common resources that are non-excludable. Anyone can go and do whatever they want and come. Have you seen the state of those places? Will anyone keep it clean? Will anyone let it be like that? No, you all go and pollute, throw water bottles, throw drink cans, right? Some of you all throw polythene. That's what happens, right? So what happens here? These common resources, they get exploited, Lamai. They get overconsumed. So even these fish now, for example, now let's say rivers. Now some fellows now, if you look at these in the not in maybe not in Colombo, but if you go a little outer, right? People dig for gems, right? So that's erosion. These rivers are just there. They dig, and under those stuff happen. Yeah. So any person can use common resources due to non-excludability. Because of this reason, common resources can be overconsumed. So a market economy is over-consuming this common resource. They are exploiting them because they are just there free of charge, right? A beach or any fisheries or grasslands or even let's say things like forests and all, they get exploited. That's what happens. Now that is where I mean, if you take the government, like take we look, for example, let's say the Singharaja forest. Let's say Sri Lanka had Singharaja forest. Let's say it's a market economy, no government at all. What do you think people will be doing? People will be going and cutting those trees and getting the wood out of it, right? Because it's non-excludable. People will be going and cutting and chopping those trees and getting the wood out of it and come. Non-excludable. Meaning you're overconsumed. That's why, guys, in Sri Lanka, the government has intervened. We'll talk about how the government intervenes later. In Singharaj or whatever, you can't even hunt animals, you can't even cut a single thing. You can't even pluck a branch and come. So there are rules and regulations. Yes. Just think if Sri Lanka was a pure market economy, no government at all. Think about these common resources. Think about the sand in the beach. All our fellows will be digging and taking sand home and going for construction. Think about the, let's say, fish in the ocean and all. Not the ocean. Think about the fish in this thing. Everyone's catching fish. Think about any tree that is there, just in a grassland or normal area, a tree. People will be randomly going and cutting it and coming. That's what happens. So these common resources, if there is no government in a pure market economy, they get overconsumed, they get exploited, in other words. Yeah. So also there is no mechanism generated for the efficient utilization of common resources in a market. A market fails due to inefficient management of these. So these common resources, they get exploited. People overconsume. Another reason for market failure. Reason number 5, overutilization of common resources. So these common resources being fisheries, grasslands. When I say grasslands, think of like a area with trees and all. What happens? Overutilize. People just go and cut the trees and take, right? Fisheries, they go and fish, excessive fishing. Another problem. Is that okay? Fine. What are common resources? The fact that they are non-rival, they are rival but non-excludable, how that leads to market failure. Okay. So now guys, we studied 4 types of goods. No? So these things, you all need to know the characteristics. Highly tested question in your A-level paper. Okay. So we studied public goods. Public goods were non-excludable. Remember street light. Non-excludable, non-right. After studying public goods, we then studied semi-public. Another name is club goods. Okay. Semi-public goods. Here, cinemas, private parks, satellite TV, museums, those. They were excludable, right? Excludable. If you don't buy the ticket for the museum, you can't go. But non-right. Until it reaches capacity though, but non-right. And that is that. Then, what else did we have? After that, we learned private goods. Before going into merit and demerit, remember private goods. Private goods were the goods that were, they were excludable, right? If you don't pay, you can't come. Like my exclusive class. You don't pay the class fee, we won't take you. And rival also. When one of you all join, the seat for another person is now not available. So it's excludable and rival. Then finally, we learned common resources. So these common resources, non-excludable. Anyone can go and catch the fish and come, but right. So when you all are defining, we will do it in the revision class. Don't worry, we will write answers. But when you all are defining or anything, you have to define it using these characteristics. That's the most important. If they ask you define a common resource, you need to say, okay, a common resources are the goods which are non-excludable but rival. Then give an example, then explain. And that's how it has to happen. Okay, done. Then Lamai, another reason for market failure is externalities. This one we will study in detail. Okay, so here if you look at page number 6, here can you see there is a whole topic called externalities. So under this level, it's interesting, a little bit not hard, but there are graphs here. There are graphs like this. So there are different things. That externalities part goes until page number 11. So that is the next part under the first main topic, market failure. After that, we go to the government coming like Superman to correct market failure. That's the next one. Okay. So this externalities part I will go through in our next class. That is tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think I should be able to finish off all of this. No issue. Okay. Back. So externalities, I'm not going into a lot of detail right now because I will be explaining it starting tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to skip that one. After that, we'll come back to this note, or even if you read this note, you will understand. We'll go to the last two. Last two situations of market failure under what? Under inefficient resource allocation. Imperfect competition and monopoly situations. So Lamai, think little bit of unit 4 knowledge is needed. Remember in unit number 4, we learned monopoly. What is a monopoly? Where just one firm is there in the industry. What is perfect competition? Perfect competition is where a large number of firms, like these paddy farmers under those. So anything else is called imperfect competition. So you know what happens in imperfect competition? In imperfect competition, Lamai, again, even a monopoly, what do they do, Lamai? What do they do to consumers? Do you think they charge a fair price? Okay, you just tell me, if I was the only econ teacher in Sri Lanka, English medium, do you think I will be charging 2,500 a month for theory class? Do you really think I would do it? If I was the only econ teacher, I was a monopoly. Right? I would say, like, look, your class fees is 5,000. If you want, come and learn, otherwise do it. So if I'm a monopoly, right? If any producer is a monopoly, what happens now? They exploit the consumer, no? They charge a price that is way higher than their marginal cost. They charge a price that is way higher. Remember, now my price is what we substitute. Remember, unit number 1, product allocative efficiency. So ideally, price is which you replace a marginal benefit, no? For allocative efficiency, marginal benefit should equal to marginal cost. But what do these people do? They charge a price way high, so these don't become equal to each other. The economy doesn't achieve allocative efficiency. These people, they exploit the consumer. They charge a price way higher than this thing. Now, if I was the only quantity out there, let's say my marginal cost of teaching one of your, right? My marginal cost is, let's say, my tube printing, my admin cost, my website maintenance cost, my electricity, my Zoom cost, right? There are costs. And based on those, I have decided class fees is 2,500. But if I was a monopoly, my cost will be the same, but I will say class fees is 5,000. So what am I doing there? I'm exploiting you all. So that's another reason for marketing. So in a market economy, Lamai, there are a lot of imperfect companies. There's a lot of monopolies out there because government doesn't come and control. Now, if you all know in the real world, Lamai, government prevents mergers. You all know that, right? Now, for example, if let's say Dialog and Mobitel are going to merge, let's say Dialog and Mobitel are going to merge. Let's say Dialog is going to buy Mobitel. If the government feels that this merger will make that firm, let's say Dialog Mobitel together, right? Let's say Mobilog, right? That's Mobilog. Mobitel and Dialog together, it's called Mobilog. Let's say that firm, if the government feels that they will become too powerful, because if one firm becomes too powerful, Lamai, they can remove the other people off easily. They can easily remove Hutch off, they can easily remove Airtel off when they're too powerful. So if the government feels that two firms getting together are too powerful, they won't allow that. So especially in foreign countries, Lamai, there is something called a Mergers and Acquisition Act, right? So you can't just go and buy another firm like that. If the government feels that two of you all combined with them makes it too powerful and you all can dominate the market, they won't allow it. So now in a market economy, there is no government like that. Market economy, government has a very limited role. So then what happens in the market economy? In a market economy, this can happen. There are so many monopolies, firms are merging and becoming stronger. So as a result of this imperfect competition, or in other words, monopoly situations, what happens? They charge a price way higher than their marginal cost. They are exploiting the consumer. So that leads to market. So because of this, on one side, you don't have allocative efficiency. That's another thing. On the other end, right? On the other end, consumers are being exploited. Grade 13 syllabus starts from unit number 7. I'm hoping you all were in this world when we did. Because unit 1 to 6 is grade 12, 7 to 12 is grade 13. Okay, so there is a second unit in the grade 13 syllabus. Is that okay? Imperfect competition and monopoly. Because of this, one, you don't have allocative efficiency. Two, consumers are exploited and leads to market economy failing. Market failure. Okay, now we'll go back. So okay, just summarize over again. So in a market economy, there are a lot of what? There are a lot of monopolies out there. So what are monopolies? Those are imperfect competition, monopolies, oligopolies, right? Those kind of stuff. So those kind of stuff, what do? Those firms, they exploit the consumer, right? They charge a price way higher than the marginal cost. So on one side, they're exploiting consumers. Price being way higher than marginal cost means under no allocative efficiency also. So that is where it leads to market failure. No allocative efficiency, exploiting the consumer, leading to market failure. Okay. Then reason number last. What do we have? Imperfect information. So in a market economy, now what is perfect information? Perfect information means everyone knows everything. So you know what is the quality, what is the price, how this product is made, you know everything. Producers know where the consumers are, what are the other producers selling what price, and they know everything. That's what they call perfect information. Then imperfect information, now we said that's a reason for market failure. How? What is imperfect information? Imperfect information is that it is difficult to obtain full and correct information in the market. So then what happens, Ramai? Because of imperfect information, you know what happens? You make wrong decisions. You make wrong decisions. That is where it leads to market. Now, for example, let's say Lamai, there is a way better econ class than my econ class. We'll assume, but you all don't know that. You all don't know. You all not know. Say there is another sir out there. He's way better than me. Right? Recordings, tunes, explanations, everything is way better than me. But because of imperfect information, you all don't do. So what happens? So you're paying the class fees and coming to my class. So what are you doing? You're not allocating your resources properly, right? Your money should have been put there. But you saw my flyer and you thought, oh, this fellow is good. Let me come to his class. You came to maybe the opposite also. Maybe let's say I am better than someone else. Maybe you're going to someone else's class. You saw their flyer and you went to their class. Maybe I'm better than them. So because of imperfect information, you made the wrong decision. Yeah. So when you're making wrong decisions means you're allocating resources inefficiently. Now, let's say, for example, let's say I want to start a business. Don't have all the information. Let's say I go and start a burger shop. It's selling fast food burgers. But if I actually had the proper information, let's say I realized that in my area, the need is for healthy food. People like fresh juice and let's say healthy, nutritious food. But I didn't have the information. I didn't know. So what did I do? I went and started a burger shop, fast food shop. So if people have perfect information, they will make better decisions. So imperfect information leads to what? Imperfect information leads to people making the wrong decision. So like me going and starting what? Me going and starting a burger shop. Maybe in my area, people want healthy food. The need is for that. So that means I should allocate my land, labor, capital, my resources to produce nutritious food. But I never had that information. I didn't know. So I had imperfect information. So I went and allocated my resources where? To a burger shop. Instead, I should have maybe, let's say, done a fresh juice or cola canda or something like that. I did the wrong thing. And that is what? Number last one, imperfect information. So when people don't have correct information, they make wrong decisions. Making wrong decisions means under leading to market. You're not allocating your resource properly. No, I should have allocated resources to produce a fresh juice shop. Instead, I allocated my resources to produce a burger shop. And inefficiency in resource allocation. So why does this perfect information is not there, Lamai? Perfect information is not there because number one, destroying of true information due to advertising. Now, let's say I put a flyer and I told you all, come join my class. I advertised and I put ad on the TV and now I said, right, this is the class that, what, let's say, guys, have you all seen this? Have you all seen, everyone is the number one teacher? Have you all seen that? I know I haven't put that in my flyers, but have you all seen in TV ads and all? Everyone is Lankave, this thing, right? Everyone is the number one. This is the number one business class. This is the number one econ class. This is the number one accounting class. Right? Everyone puts it somewhere, right? In the ads, it's always there, right? Or this is the best in the district. All of that is there. So, don't you think that is point number one? Destroying true information due to advertising. Maybe he's not number one. Maybe there is another number one. But you advertise saying this is the number one econ class in the country. Come for this. So then what happens? People think, all right, this is the best class. I will go there. So you're allocating your resources the wrong place. And then sometimes, Nama, it's not because of advertising. Now, sometimes there is no information because it's a very complicated good. Now, let's say certain goods, Nama, producing those goods are very complicated. So people don't know that. Now, if you ask me, now, for example, I don't know how to produce a phone domain, right? So I don't have perfect information on phone production. I don't know how to I know to on the phone, off a phone, take a photo, send a message. I don't know how to produce it because the technology is much more complex. So therefore, I don't have perfect information. And sometimes existence of uncertainty leads to some benefit. Now, sometimes now let's say, yeah, this is a bit of a complex point though. Now, let's say, for example, uh, you have a you have a small shop. You have okay, let's say you have a restaurant. You have a restaurant. Now you're going to sell it to me. You're going to sell it to me. So you're telling me, look here, sir, our restaurant, in the past, for a day, we make 100,000 sales. So after we pay salaries and raw food expenses, our profit is 50,000, right? Now you're day. Okay. So now with that impression, let's say I buy your shop, you're selling your restaurant to me. I am saying, all right, for a day I also can earn. But I don't know if that will actually continue in the future, right? I don't know. So maybe the day before you sold the shop to me, let's say there was a rat in your shop and under that some fellow video then now it's viral on Facebook. I never saw that. So you said, so we earned 100,000. You were not lying. You were telling me the truth. You were saying we have 100,000. But you never told me about the rat. So now after I buy it, 2, 3 days later, now I realize no customer is coming. Why? Some fellow has seen a rat in our restaurant and they have put on Facebook everywhere. And now no one is eating at my restaurant. See, that's what we said. Existence of uncertainties about some benefit. You said, I will get a benefit, 100,000 sales, 50,000 profit from that. There was a benefit. But it was not really certain, right? You don't have to go through these in detail. These 3 points, not required to go through in detail. But you need to realize that perfect information is not there. Even though you promised me, sir, 100,000, you might get, I'm not getting that. That's what imperfect information is. So having imperfect information leads to making wrong decisions. When you make wrong decisions under inefficiency in resource allocation. Going back to the page. Negligence of externalities, we will go through. I haven't gone through that in detail. Imperfect competition, we learned how monopolies and all, how they charge a price way higher and how they exploit the customer. We talked about imperfect information. Because of imperfect information, you do the wrong thing. Think of me starting a burger shop. My area needed a fresh juice shop. I didn't know. I didn't have perfect information. I went and started a burger shop. I allocated my resources to the wrong thing. Inefficiency in resource allocation. So all of these sub reasons leads to what? Inefficiency in resource. So you're not allocating your resources efficiently. You're either not allocating at all public goods. Either you're allocating too much, like demerit goods, or you're consuming too much. Let's say these things like common resources exploited, or you're not consuming enough merit goods, quasi-public goods not provided enough. So you're not properly efficiently doing that. That's what you call inefficiency in resource allocation. That's one big main reason why the market economy fails. In other words, another reason why the government should be there. That's why if you take the real world, there is no pure market economy. In the real world, there is nothing called a pure market economy, where the private sector price mechanism completely operates. No, in every country, there is a government. That's why government's role is that's why we say government is inevitable. You really need a government, because if only the market economy does it, let's say there are no street lights, there is no national defense, people are exploiting things, and no, that can happen. Right? So that's the first reason. Is that okay? Shape. Inefficiency reason. Yes, one more thing. You study this with me, right? Now, if you want to finish studying this by March, don't wait until I finish the unit to study. You study daily with me. Please make that a practice. Even if you have not done, while studying a unit, another unit, parallelly study what is happening in class. Huh? Now, let's say you are studying unit number 6. Don't wait until you finish studying unit number 6 to study unit number 8. While studying unit 8, while studying 6, study 8 as well with me in the class, because this you can study faster. Now, today, let's say I am finishing the first 5 pages. If you want, after today's class, I don't know what time you are studying, night or early morning, maybe tomorrow early morning. Wake 1 hour before we leave. Let's say you are wake at 6 o'clock, wake at 5 o'clock. 5 to 6 o'clock, 1 hour is enough. From 1 hour, you can study all these 5 pages and finish because it's fresh in your mind. Now, if you finish studying unit 6 and unit 7, then now next month you start studying unit 8, it will take time because now you can't remember these ones, right? So study now with self and finish. When I'm saying study, you don't have to memorize. Go through it, understand, and put into your head. That is what I'm done. Okay. So that's how you save time because otherwise you're going to run out of time. No? Otherwise, you can't finish studying by March if you're going unit now. Let's say today you're starting to study. Unit number 8, you parallelly study. Unit number 1, you start studying separate. You have to be smart enough there, right? Some people are there, I will study unit 1 only and then go to unit 2. Then only I'll go to unit 3. You will never finish. You're always in unit number 1. So you be smart enough in the revision class if you are doing another unit and the parallel study that also. So you all need to have that thing. Those are the people who do really well. If your mind is only like, I can only concentrate on 1 unit a week, then you think you're also normal general fellow. If you really want to do well, have to go beyond. Okay, right. The next main 2 reasons for market failing. Okay, yes, consistency is also very important. Macroeconomic instability. What is macroeconomic? The entire economy. Instability. So, for example, price level, economic growth, the exchange rate, employment, unemployment levels. They have to be stable, right? You can't have prices going up and crazy inflation. You can't have the exchange rate today 200, tomorrow 300, and next day 150. You can't have instability. So, but if you take a market now, think in Sri Lanka, when prices were going crazy high, when there was inflation, who stepped in? Did the private sector, market economy, or someone come and step in and try to control inflation? Did the private sector come and do anything? Nonsense. Who stepped in? The government and the central bank stepped in. Central bank, remember we studied unit number 7. Central bank is the one who increased policy rates and who did this, that, and that, and they control. So just think in a market economy without a government. No government means no proper central bank, nothing. So in a market economy without a government, think how will it happen? That's the issue. In a market economy, there is macroeconomic instability. So what is macroeconomic instability? Macroeconomic instability means there are a lot of fluctuations in the economy. So in terms of what? In terms of aggregate demand. So aggregate demand fluctuations lead to inflation, price levels changing. Then there can be issues with your economic growth. There can be issues with your unemployment rates. There can be issues with, let's say, poverty rates. It's so much of uncertainty. So that leads to what? Market failure, macroeconomic instability. Because in a market economy, you need to remember, Lamai, government's role is limited. There is no government who comes and runs the monetary policy to control money supply, to control inflation, under flexible inflation targeting, the standing rate corridors. They have put there. Market economy, purely market. So if it's purely the private sector, the market handling, prices will be going up and down crazy, right? Exchange rate can be fluctuating. Because who's there to control this? No. And that is why we say in a market economy, there will be what? There will be macroeconomic instability, meaning prices will fluctuate very frequently, exchange rate will change very frequently. That's not good for economy. Reason 2 for market failure. Third reason, unequal income distribution. Remember, Laman, in a market economy, do you all remember how does a market economy answer the whom to produce question? Did they care about distributing the goods equally and all? No. Whoever who has the purchasing power can come and take the goods. Do you think in a market economy they care about people falling in poverty? Do you think they care about the poor fellow going down? No. In Sri Lanka, who is helping the poor? Who is helping the retired fellows? Who is helping the students who don't have money to go to a local unit? Who is helping the, let's say, the fellows who are disabled? The government. Government has some of the payments for the really poor. Government has pensions for the retire. Government has a Mahapolo scheme for other students who can't afford. Government has, let's say, these payments for disabled and everyone who are sick. Government. So just think, in a market economy, the rich fellow will get richer and richer and richer. He will start businesses, he will expand, he will do. But what happens to the poor guy? He gets poorer and poorer and poorer, and he might die out of poverty. So in a market economy, guys, there can be high unequal income distribution, or you can say income inequality. So there is income inequal. That's a big reason. Another big reason for what? For market failure. Is income inequality is the disparity of income distribution with a high concentration of income, usually in the hands of a small percentage. So most of the income of the country is with only the richest people. The most of the income is with a very small percentage of the population. The richest people are enjoying most. Okay. So when income inequality occurs, there is a large gap between the wealth of one population segment compared to the other. The rich fellows are getting richer and richer. Poor fellows nothing. Personal income in a market economy, we have discussed this. Factors such as the amount of labor, the amount of education you have, the property that you own, what is the price of factors, your entrepreneurial skill, and also luck. And all of these factors determine your personal income. And then we say disparities arise with households' income when it is generated using the above factors. And then when there is income disparity, what happens? There is issues in distribution, right? Rich people, they consume a lot of goods and services. They can get a nice luxury lifestyle. Poor fellows hardly survive. So all of this means what? Inequality in income distribution. Another reason for market failure. That is where the government intervenes. That's why in Sri Lanka you have a government providing pensions, some of the benefits, Mahapolo for the poor. So just think, if the government in Sri Lanka wasn't there, now that's why the government even charges taxes from the rich. Then we have income tax, right? The richer and richer you get, you pay higher and higher income tax. Why? Because that money is what is used to give the poor, to pay pensions, to pay samurdis, to pay your free education. That's the money that is being used. Think there is no government. Rich fellow doesn't pay tax, he gets richer and richer and richer. Now, guys, don't you all think most of y'all, if there was no government schools, you all won't be able to afford it? Don't you think most people in Sri Lanka is in that state? If there was no government school, they can't afford to go to school. Do you think every family can pay a let's say term fee of 30,000-40,000 and send their children to school? Think you have 2-3 children? Can they send? No. So the rich fellow will get richer and richer. A normal basic fellow who can't send the children to school, then think of your family. 20 years later, once you get big, you don't even have proper education. Because you're not going to school, your parents couldn't afford to send you to a private school. So the income disparity gets wider, and but that's why in Sri Lanka government has intervened. So just think, if it's a purely market economy, how much of income disparity would be there? Third reason for market failure. So because of all of these reasons, what happens? The market economy fails. So we are done with what I wanted to do for today. So reasons for market failure: inefficiency in resource allocation done, macroeconomic instability done, unequal distribution of income done. I go back to my cover page. These are the topics under market failure. The reasons we are done. We have the externality part to do. That is what I will be doing tomorrow. So tomorrow is a 2-hour class, 8 to 10 p.m. And once I'm done with that, by tomorrow, first main topic is done. This government intervening to correct market failure and government failure, that is only a 1-hour session, right? That's a very small part. I'll finish that in 1 hour. Meaning the rest of your unit is about fiscal policy, government taxing, government's expenses, all of it, a lot of practical. And with that, like I said, by the end of Feb, my plan, in other words, 6 classes, I will be able to finish off unit 9. So pay attention, attend the live class somehow. Even if you miss the previous class, still come live. Because otherwise what happens is you collect recordings. Even if you miss, try your level best to watch and come. Even if you don't watch and come, still come. So come to the next class, you will understand. You will still understand. These are all theoretical chapters. So it will still make sense. It will go into your head. And then catch up on the recording. Recordings will be there. That's my guarantee. Those are there. You can watch and catch up. Don't have the practice that if I miss the first class, now then tomorrow is second class. Now I don't know this, then I will not come for that also. Now you have 2 recordings to watch. Now you don't find time that you don't come to the third class. 2-3 weeks have gone, unit is over, you have not watched anything. Make sure that is not your client. Right. So with that, the unit is done. Shall we quickly do the quiz? Otherwise, others we never do the quiz. There's a small quiz that I have. Shall we quickly do the quiz? It's a 10 MCQs from what we learned just today. Okay. No, last Sunday was a revision. Okay. We'll quickly do the quiz, then we can move to the next class. Otherwise, every day we don't do the quiz now. Right. So give me 1 minute. I'll quickly get this loaded. The quiz is from everything that we learned today. Share my screen. Okay, the quiz is loading. Okay. Right. So for those who are joining for the first time, it's just from what we have done for now. I'll send you all the link on the chat box as well. So what you need to do is you need to go to this. You can either click on the link on the chat box, or you can go to this website www.kahoot.id, KAHOOT.id. They'll ask you for a game pin. Enter the number that is on the screen, 5843985. 5843985, and then enter your name and you can solve. So the winner gets a reload of a 300, second place gets a 200, third place gets a 100. Okay, so there are 28 people right now who joined. I'll give you all 1 more minute. It's a very simple thing, guys. Just from what we did today, there is nothing else. So if you're listening today, you should be able to get things right. No one can see how much marks you get unless you're in the top 5. So you will not be humiliated. Don't worry. Okay, so I'm starting the quiz, guys. Even in the middle, you all can still join. No issue at all. Okay, right. I'm starting. I think this quiz can only have 40. I think that's the max. Right. Starting. Others, you can give answers on the chat box. Question 1. Which of the following is not a cause of market failure? Non-optimal consumption of quasi-public goods, imperfect information, government intervention to correct inefficiencies in a market economy, imperfect competition and monopoly situations, not a cause of market failure. Nice. So it's the yellow one, right? Government intervening, that was not a cause. No? All of these others we discussed today, right? Most of you all have got that right. Faster you answer, more points you get. Next one. Merit goods are goods in which private benefit exceeds social benefit exceeds social cost, private cost exceed private benefit, social benefit exceed private benefit. Tick. Merit goods we discussed today. The social benefit is higher, right? Because you get a private benefit of 100, your friend who learns from you and clears the doubt gets a benefit of 20. So social benefit is 120, private benefit is only 100. Okay, that's the leaderboard. Next one. Which type of good is characterized by non-excludability and rival? Non-excludability, but rival. Public, common resource, private networks. Common resources, right? Remember the fisheries? They were non-excludable, but they were rival. Nice. Most of you have got it correct. Good to see you all were listening. Okay, that's the leaderboard for now. Going to the next. When the consumption of a good generates negative externalities, it leads to what? Think of demerit goods. Demerit goods. Underproduction of the good, overproduction of the good, efficient allocation of resources, no impact on it. Demerit goods, what happened? They were overproduced, right? Cigarettes and all, people what? People ignored the harm, no? They ignored what will happen to this thing. Good. Okay, that's the leaderboard. Very tough competition. Most people have got all four correct. Fifth one. The marginal cost of providing a pure public good to one more consumer is positive, is equal to zero, is equal to the initial cost of production, decreases as the number of consumers decrease. What is the marginal cost of providing a public good to one more consumer? Nice. Zero, right? Remember? Street light, just because one house gets added, there is no extra cost. Okay, leaderboard is almost the same. Which of the following good is excludable and non-rival? Excludable but non-rival. Public, quasi-public, demerit, merit. Quasi-public. Nice. Good. Mm. Leaderboard, I think all of you all got all six correct. No, the ones on top. Tough competition. True or false? Market failure occurs when price mechanism fails to allocate resources efficiently. True, false. Price mechanism, the market mechanism. No? That's true, right? When the market doesn't allocate resources, then the market fails. Okay. Which of the following is not a reason for imperfect information in the market? Not a reason. Advertisements, lack of knowledge and inability to understand a complicated technology, existence of a perfect competitive market, existence of uncertainties related to some benefits. Not a reason for imperfect information. Remember that was that story, my juice shop story. Hmm? Okay, right. 8 questions down. Last 2 questions are double the points. The leaderboard can change a lot. So for now we have Rumesa, Rukeya, Nafla, Satitra, and Hafsa, all girls again dominating. 9. Which of the following best defines the term Pareto efficiency? When resources are allocated in the most efficient manner, when resources are allocated in a way that maximizes social welfare, when resources are allocated in a way that maximizes produce surplus, when resources are allocated in a monopolistically competitive manner. Pareto efficiency. Right, nice. Double the points there. Okay, small changes. Okay, going to the last question. Common resources are prone to overuse due to excludability, non-rivalry, free rider problem, government regulations. Free rider, I haven't asked one. Last question now. If the answer is the free rider problem, the free rider is what you call non-excludability. So when you are non-excludable, you're like a free rider. You can come and consume the good for free. Now, for example, street light, you are a free rider. Even without paying, you get street light consumed. Even without paying, you can go and let's say fish and come. Non-excluder. Well, that's what another name for that is the free rider problem. Right, only 8 of it got it correct. We'll see if the leaderboard changes. Okay, the podium, we have, right, Mifla in third. Nice to see some new names. We have Hafsa in second. And right, and we have Rumesa on first. Nice. So, good job so far. I think one of the right, we have I think Sumaya and Nafla on fourth and fifth. I think was one of the toughest spot Kahoots. I think most of you all got most of it correct. I think most the points would have gone through timing, right? You would have been a little slow to answer, and it's not easy to answer in 20 seconds. For A levels, you'll get around 22 minutes to answer a question like that. So don't worry about that. Here you have to answer very, very fast. That's okay. So with that, we'll call it off for today. Please take some time before tomorrow to go through these 5 pages that we did. It's not connected to tomorrow's class, but still learn and finish it with me. Take around 1 hour, go through those 5 pages. I'll see you all tomorrow at 8, where I finish text analysis. Then you can take that entire week to go through the first entire topic. So see you all and have a nice day. See you. Bye.